Welcome!
What
It's
is up,
the
everyone?
Vault Games Cracker Box stream, the weekly Cracker Box, back at it again, this time for something a little bit different, a little bit exciting, brand new. It's Innistrad Midnight Hunt set boosters. Now, we've been talking about the graphic design on these boosters. Oh my goodness.
It is so good to be able to actually see that it is a set booster this time.
Oh, right.
Thanks, Adventures in the Forgotten Realm.
Set booster, you can definitely tell. I'm going to actually bring out a box to show you guys because the box, like the display, is super, super cool. So look at this display. Look at that. Woo.
It's really good.
Super, super nice. So we're going to be cracking into some Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Not Crimson Vow yet.
Not Crimson Vow. Crimson Vow's not till November.
Not till November, boys.
Midnight Hunt is got pre-released this weekend where you will be able to pick up full boxes of set boosters. Also, set boosters will be the prizes handed out at pre-release events across the world this weekend. But the set doesn't release until Friday week, so not tomorrow, the Friday after.
Yep.
And that is when you'll be able to pick up any of the cards that we are putting into the system today. Because as always with these Crackerbox streams, I am sitting behind the desk. Trent is behind the camera. Trent's going to be cracking them packs, and I'm going to be putting them straight in the system. If you want to see what they are, you can go to singles.vaultgames. I'm putting it in the chat now, vaultgames.com.au. From there is a very big image as soon as you load up the screen that shows you where to go to get your Innistrad Midnight Hunt singles. So
I like the little banner wraps all the way around. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, like I've been saying for the last 2 days, it's the most graphically designed set in a very long time.
Yeah, I just love these like oranges and blacks. Like it's just super cool. If anyone's versed my Troggoths, they know I like orange and black together. Very, very cool. I love when they also commit to the orange, where it's like it's not like a yellow to a red gradient. Like this is all orange the whole way through. So it's very, very cool. These boosters.
Now we shouldn't see any of the commander cards in the set boosters, I don't believe.
I think that the unique commander ones can come in set boosters, I've heard.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the unique commander ones can come in set boosters, but not the commander stuff that you would expect from a collector's booster. So I've heard. We'll have to find out, won't we? It'll get to the end of this and there won't be a single one. Dylan will say, I told you so, Trent. He'll say, Trent, you're wasting my time.
So I'm just going to get the filter set up on the system.
Absolutely. So we're just going to let everyone enjoy the design of this booster. It's super, super nice. Super, super nice. And as per usual, it does have a little nicker, little tear up. Easy.
All right,
and without further ado though, while I will be opening all the boosters, we will have our tap booster off, just for those on chat. And Dylan and I are going to crack the very first boosters. So, if you're in the chat, tell us who you're excited for. If you're a Commander player, tell us who you're excited to play. Tell us who you're excited to crack. Do you have any kind of slept on cards you think are really, really cool? There's a 2-drop Common Spirit I think is a bit slept on. Really, really cool. So, you could get away with some really cool stuff. So
interesting art. The Hippogriff Rider.
Already opening awesome artwork.
Full art lands.
Oh yeah, the full art lands are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's actually we'll have to stop here and get a good look at these full art lands for a moment. So we've opened the exact same mountain, even the same art. We both opened the same one, but absolutely gorgeous.
Let me.
I'll bring it really close, and then Dylan's going to up the. He's going to hit the buttons and make it nice. Look at that focus. Look at that. Oh. So has the basic land, has the mountain, all the information. You got that little cute little Midnight Hunt logo, white text, always looks nice. Just a phenomenal land. So we're actually going to show up some more as we open them. Another thing you can't really see in the live, I'm going to try and get it for you so you can see, just like that.
Yeah, the UV.
You actually see the edging.
The UV spot printing. Yeah.
So there's that UV spot, and I'm going to throw it on the red there so you can see it on the symbol and all along that border. So check that out. I can't stress this enough. The camera may make this look nice, but in person it looks way nicer.
Yeah, I'm definitely collecting all of the mountains and swamps for my my rebuilt Scarab God deck.
Nice. I'm actually gonna collect all of the islands and put them into my Unesh deck because I really like the islands for Unesh, and I want to get.
I gave a whole bunch yesterday to Piper.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Jason gave her some of his too, so she's been collecting islands as well. So it's really cool.
Yeah, we had our, sorry, for anyone that's wondering, we had our staff pre-release. So one thing we do here at the store is we make sure all our staff know what's coming up in the new set by running our own little pre-release event. There's only one thing in here that really matters.
That's okay. Keep going.
So the collation, by the way, of the set booster is very interesting because it does include several double-sided cards.
Yes. Very, very cool. It comes with several. And then it's also coming with...
It does include some of the commander cards. MIC 1 to 4 and 31 to 38. So not all of them.
No, that's just the unique ones.
That's just the unique
That's
ones.
just the unique ones that you can't get inside the commander decks, which is a brand new thing as well. Maybe we talk about that just a little bit.
A combination of 1 to 4 cards of rarity rare or higher, and 1 art card.
Yep, that's a classic. The art card is an absolute classic. Yep, there she is. See my drink.
I really like that they actually put the percentages on here because they're required to by EU law now.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't have a look at my booster. I threw it away.
1 to 4 cards of rarity rare or higher. So if you have 2, there's a 27% chance of getting it. 3 rares is a 3% chance, and 4 is a less than 1% chance.
Huh.
Also, it says a foil mythic borderless planeswalker is in less than 1% of boosters. A foil stamped signature art card replaces the art card in 5% of set boosters. List cards can be found in 25% of set boosters.
Yep, so 1 in 4. To be fair, that's good. That's the same ratio we've always had for those mystery booster cards. So there's list cards. All right, so I'm also going to just talk about very quickly, just going to look at a common and an uncommon from the set just because they're phenomenal looking. These are the new showcase cards from the set. So we'll show some off as we get to, I'll bring it up really close and we'll get the focus perfect. So as we get into some of the awesome rares, you'll see some amazing examples of this. But right now you see Shady Traveler, awesome kind of like unique borders, all these
It's like Harvest Festival art.
It's Harvest Festival art, but not only just that, it's all hand, it's really hand drawn, very hard inked. It looks very comic book design. And then the best part up here is this yellow ring represents the day version. And if I flip this card over, you've got the night version with the half moon, which is freaking awesome, by the way. And I love that striking yellow to break up the colors, so you can't miss out what you're looking at. Even from a distance, even from, look at that, it's blurred out. You can even tell there's a moon there somewhere. Look at that, see? So very easy to look at clarity-wise, which I really like, because there's a lot of focus on arena, and clarity's kind of got out the window a little bit sometimes with these kind of cards. Speaking of lack of clarity, you have Menace Nightbound. We'll explain how that works in a sec as we get some flavor text going on. So it's a 4/4. It's like a 3-mana 2/3 with Menace, and then it becomes a 4/4 3-mana with Menace, which is really quite good. Like for a common, that's really upper.
Yeah, particularly if you've already flipped it to night.
Yeah, if you're already at night, which again we'll get into, but if you're already nighttime, these guys.
3-mana 4/4 with Menace is very good.
In the common slot, like that's incredible. Like in the limited environment in draft, this card's gonna be awesome. If you're playing in the pre-release, keep an eye out for Stalking Predator, or more accurately, Shady Traveler.
I gotta say that like in the pre-release yesterday. A lot of times I don't really enjoy pre-releases purely because it's just like, it's not really fun. It's really swingy in terms of like the power of stuff.
Yep.
But yesterday I think was the first time I've had fun in a pre-release event since Theros Beyond Death.
Yeah, and I really like Theros' pre-release setting. So I'm just going back to like looking at these guys. Now this shows you more of that good example of that Coven border. This is that like Midnight Hunt, what you call it again? Sorry?
Harvest Festival.
Harvest Festival, thank you. Yeah. So the Harvest Festival kind of art. And this one's so much brighter because obviously this is a multicolored card looking a bit gold edges, but this is a black card. So it's got that kind of darkness.
Yeah, all of the Harvest border has that same color as the standard frames.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very cool. Although this time, as you could tell, it's actually like a sunflower, not so much a sun up there. And there's nothing on the back because it's not a transforming card. That's why it doesn't have a sun. Little sunflower though, which I think is really cute. And then this is the common ability Vigilance. It's an uncommon. It's a 3/3. It's pretty cute. 3-mana 3/3 with Vigilance. Actually, that's better than cute. And it gives your creatures ++0. Oh, that's not bad for an uncommon. Cool and limited. All right, we're not going to get into that too much. Let's talk about some rares. We've already opened those first 2 packs, and I'll get into some rares. So first thing we've actually opened here, we have viewers pouring in. Awesome. So Briar Bridge Tracker being the very first card we've pulled. Awesome cards. So a 3-mana 2/3 Vigilance. Again, these are like really good stat lines for these kind of cards. When it enters the battlefield, you investigate. So create the clue. Investigating introduced in Shadows over Innistrad, making a comeback.
Briar Bridge Tracker
In the new Innistrad. So you can definitely expect more Investigate, especially with Modern Horizons 2 with Lonus, you could definitely expect more Investigate.
Yep.
And as long as you control any token at all, it's a +2/+0. So once you play it, Investigates, makes itself into a 4/3. It's a 3-mana 4/3 Vigilance the moment you play it.
Yeah.
It's super high-ended, so very, very good card. Awesome in Standard. Maybe not so great in Commander, but we're going to get to that. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm going to jump in. 3 mana makes a treasure, makes a clue, in Lonus, amazing. It makes 2 clues.
With an assembly, with the, was it the assembly manufacturer?
Making double treasures. Very good, very good. So now we have a Ludovic Necrogenius. Those who know Ludovic would recognize this character. If not, he's a classic from Innistrad. A blue and a black. He's a 2-mana 2/3 commander. When he ETBs or attacks, you mill a card. Very cool. So when it enters the battlefield, you should take the top card of your library, put it in the graveyard. Pay X, 2 blue and 2 black to exile X creature cards from your graveyard, and X can't be 0 to transform Ludovic and only at sorcery speed. So why would you pay X into it? Let's find out. We're flipping him over. It's now Olag, Ludovic's Hubris. So Ludovic is a Stitcher.
He is not even in the system yet.
Oh, great. So this one will not be going in our system just yet. Maybe some of these will not be. We'll have to double check on some of these, but we'll get into that one. So, Olag. So he's a stitcher. Ludovic has always, basically always, been stitching together zombies, making his abominations. He made like Crown, which was a Is-It zombie, and he made some really cool stuff. So his hubris here is because he's actually finally worked on himself. He's upgraded himself to this horrible, horrible monster. I will say that he's got like this awesome like centipede tail that builds up to like a bladed legged horse body that then builds up to tentacles like from an octopus that builds up to his human form. So for me, I would have liked to see this as some kind of chimera, like a zombie chimera would have been a really cool creature type for this, but it's just a zombie for this set. So maybe it'll be the only chimera in the set, but I think this definitely fits the chimera bill. So we now have, as he transforms into Olag, it becomes a copy of any creature card exiled with it. So if you pay 1 of the X, it's just the 1 card and you get a copy of it. Except its name is always Olag Ludovic's Hubris. It's 4/4 and it's a legendary blue and black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So everything you see on the card is still going to be true. It's just going to always have that effect that you exile. In addition, and its card type, sorry. Put a number of wall encounters on Olag equal to the number of creature cards exiled with it. So it is exiling from your own graveyard. Yep, so you do need to get a lot of self-milling going. And then at sorcery speed, you pay a lot into X and make him into a massive creature. I think more often than not, guys, you're just going to be exiling 1 card. Therefore, you just get a 5/5 with those abilities. I think more often than not, you're just paying 5 to flip it. And it's going to be a 5 mana. It's a 2 mana 2/3 that mills. It's then a 5 mana 5/5 that does whatever you like. As it flips, it can do certain things. So if you have cards that say when this card's flipped over, it flips as a copy of that. So you get those effects off. If you have cool passive effects, you can get away with those. If you want like a Geezer and Geralt, you can make this a copy of Geezer and Geralt. It's still an Olag, and then it's straight up, you start pulling more zombies out of your graveyard. So cool card.
Not in the system, unfortunately.
Not in the system, unfortunately, guys. So I'm going to put him a little bit separate, and if we get some more cards that don't go into the system, guys, you can be sure that we're going to chase it up, and we're going to make sure that those things get in the system as soon as humanly possible. So, I'm going to be cracking open stacks. You can hear me cracking open some boosters. Look at that.
Let's talk about some of the mechanics. So some of the new mechanics, some of the returning mechanics first. Werewolves. Investigates come back. Investigate is a token. It makes a clue that you can pay 2, sack it to draw a card. Really basic, like, token stuff. Oh, Kian Edwards, 1999, Flashback Gang. That's correct. Flashback is back. Again, it is... It has been cast from the graveyard, and then will be put into exile after the set, probably.
That's it.
Flashback is the ability to cast a spell from your graveyard for its flashback cost, and then once it's resolved, exile it. So Flashback's a very popular mechanic with Is-It players. Making Morrigan, holla my nerds, what is going on?
Holla! Making Morrigan, always in the chat, always welcome. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, lovelies.
What other mechanics we've got? We've got tribal for werewolves and zombies.
Yeah, more zombies.
And humans have their own little tribal mechanic now as well, which I'll get into in a tick. What else do we have for returning mechanics? Well, obviously the transform cards.
Of course.
Which are linked to multiple things now.
Yes.
It's not just straight day-night transform.
Exactly.
There's abilities that cause things to transform, like disturb.
Here we go. Let's quickly, while we're talking about the new mechanics, I'm going to show you a token for the day-bound, night-bound cycle.
Yes. So, in terms of new mechanics, the werewolves particularly have a mechanic around day and night. So, day-bound is, as it becomes day, you transform all your night-bound permanents into day, and anything that is a day-bound, any permanent that has day-bound or night-bound on it enters the battlefield on their day-bound side. Then it has an effect, such as if a player casts no spells during their own turn, it'll become night when the next turn starts, which turns all day-bound things into their night-bound side. Permanents enter the battlefield as night-bound, so you cast them as day-bound and then transform them as they enter the battlefield.
That is so important.
And then if a player casts at least 2 spells during their own turn, it becomes day on the next turn, which then flips everything back.
So casting no spells versus casting 2 spells is a mechanic we've seen a lot in Innistrad. That's not like a brand new mechanic. But now it's attached to a game state, kind of like Ascend.
Like one of those old school Battlefield enchantments, right?
Yeah, like the old school Battlefield enchantments, exactly, just like that. So it's becoming like a game state where it's like, it's now day in the game and it's now night in the game. My stuff's going to enter a certain way and it's going to, either flip or enter a certain way. And the big thing as well that I love about it is it's also now on your own turn. So the old werewolves and such, and the old those werewolf flip cards would say that if a player casts no spells, flip it. If a player casts 2 spells, flip it. But it didn't say during their own turn. So if you're versing a deck with lots of cantrips, they could be casting multiple spells, getting it into daytime, in reaction to things. So very interesting. And remember the different conditions of transform, that's always the case though. Yeah, that's right, Kino was 99, but it's actually, I would argue that in this set, it's even more so. And it's so blatant in this set. There's always been different cases like
one thing that's really good, sorry to interrupt there. The really good thing about the Daybound Nightbound mechanic too is it opens it up to more mechanics that aren't strictly werewolf related or transform related into that, which is what we see in this set as well.
Sorry, I just pulled a thought vessel. Continue.
So like, what is it? My mind just fried. Like the homunculus that allows you to tap or untap a permanent when night becomes day and day becomes night, or the devil that deals 1 damage to each opponent when day becomes night or night becomes day. Like,
so cards are really interacting with it in really nuanced ways.
And it's not just transform this, which is really,
exactly.
which really, I really liked how they've done it. It's unfortunate that they haven't gone back and like errated their older cards to interact with it.
That seems very dangerous to me.
Yeah.
If they're going back changing all the werewolves to that retroactively. But I think that it's a cool idea. I definitely would like to see that. But again, it's like so dangerous to do. And I think we're going to get to a card that people can see on the screen currently, not physically. We're going to do a card that's going to talk about why they don't really need to do that on werewolves anymore, even though I reckon that they still kind of do.
It also stops control decks casting 2 spells in your turn. Yeah.
That's the big one.
What Trent was talking about
That's
before.
the big one. It's in order to untransform your werewolves. That's exactly right. And that's a big change in the mechanic. I'll be mostly lurking. Making Morgan says, you know what? You are welcome to lurk. Just loiter in our chat. That's what we like about the chat.
One thing I really do enjoy is about how there's stuff in this set too that interact with Daybound, Nightbound, not directly. So in the pre-release yesterday with the staff, I got a Curse of Shaken Faith, which is a curse that you enchant a player, right? And it does something bad usually.
Okay.
Whenever enchanted player casts a spell other than the first spell they cast each turn or copies a spell, Curse of Shaken Faith deals 2 damage to them. So I was basically running like a red, green, blue werewolves deck.
That's cool.
That when I cast the Curse of Shaken Faith on someone and then I make it night for my werewolves, it's going to punish them if they want to turn my stuff back into humans.
Yes, that's such cool design.
Which became a very interesting interaction, I think, that made it a lot of fun.
Nice. So I'm cracking through one last pack now, and then we're going to get into talking about some cards that you can see in front of you. Lovely to talk about cards you can't see, chat, but we're definitely going to show you some cards in just a second that you'll be able to feast your eyes upon.
And just the other mechanic as well for people that know, the new one that's come out is called Disturb. It's where you cast something from your graveyard and it enters transformed for its disturbed cost. So it's kind of like flashback on creatures or permanents.
Because the disturbed side will always also this I don't know if you mentioned this one, sorry I wasn't quite getting there, but I think also with the disturbed, all the cards when they die exile themselves upon resolution.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's actually a lot like flashback.
It is essentially permanent flashback.
So we have
permanent flashbacks. I think one of the disturbs goes to an enchantment.
So Mega Bargain asks real quick, are either of you in the 40k crusade? Dylan is not, I am. Give me a message on Discord if you have any questions regarding me and the crusade. So we have Kiadoes99. Also, werewolves weirdly played well with instant speed, draw, go. Yeah, I think that's really good. Yep. I totally agree. Werewolves definitely liking to play with that. But hey, werewolves playing well with that, like it's not necessarily a problem that, well, I'm not saying you're insinuating it is, but I'm saying it's not a problem that werewolves can sometimes turn back to human form. It's like Hulk, you know? Hulk sometimes wants to go back to Bruce Banner in the comics. And I think sometimes the Innistrad werewolves need to go back to their human forms. Also, all the disturbed cards are spirits on the flip side.
Yes,
That's an interesting mechanic too. Yes, they are all spirits on the flip side. Not necessarily conducive to the mechanic of disturb, but definitely in the example of Innistrad, which, by the way, I am big Spirit Gang woo. So lovely to see great spirits because I'm a huge Spirit Gang player. Like I was very excited for all the spirits. Things like Spectral Adversary. I'm loving these cards. Now we have Deckham. There is a new werewolf that wants to flip as much as possible because it exiles each time. We have big Spirit Gang fans. Yeah, there's going to be some really cool cards. Don't worry, guys. We are going to get to those cards. I'm just going to talk about some other stuff. So first things first is let's have a quick look at one of these foil lands.
Foil forest.
It's a foil forest. So
am I putting that one in the system?
Yeah, put that one straight into the system. For those at home who want to pick up a foil forest, look at that rainbow coloration on the forest. So from your perspective, because of the way the camera picks up light, you're getting a very, very rainbow look at this with the reds, all the spectrum from red to purple. Unfortunately, from my perspective, while that rainbow is perfectly there...
Can I have a look at that? Is that 276 on the bottom?
It is 276 out of 277.
Cool. Done.
So
It
yeah,
is in the system.
just an absolutely phenomenal land. How much is this foil land?
It's 350. It's pretty good for a land.
It's pretty good for a land. So
I
land. Living cringe, being a zombie or ghost, based. That's it. I mean, I'm not gonna be here and be like, I'm not gonna sit here and go zombies are based, because as far as I'm concerned, zombies are pretty derivative. But I love ghosts.
I really like the foiling under the spot printing. That looks stunning.
And I'm telling you guys, that is actually just as rainbow for you as it is for me, except I am getting this beautiful kind of blue-green first. I get like a multiple layers of blue-green, and then I can find those yellows and reds if I look for them.
That's really good.
It's just a phenomenal looking card. So very, very big fan of that. I will add that I want to be a little bit objective with this card. I'm going to see, can you please bring up the focus, Dylan, really, really hard right there for me. So I have not tampered with this in any way, shape, or form. But what I have along the top there is some huge crimping. And that actually, look at that, it's all along the top of the card. And you can't even see as well as I can on this camera. But there is some really horrible fraying along the edge of this card. So I hope that the other foil lands aren't as bad as this one. It might just be a bad example. But I'll show this to Dylan, because he'll get a better idea. He'll be able to confirm for you guys at home. Look at the right side of that card the whole way down. It's like somebody has run it against sandpaper in some way.
Nah, it looks like a blunt cutter.
Oh, it's a blunt cutter for sure. No, sorry. It's definitely, somebody did not run it against sandpaper, people. But it looks like they did.
Yeah, it's definitely a blunt cutter.
Which is super unfortunate. So if you are a WotC staff and you're watching the stream, first of all, welcome. Thank you. shop@vaultgames.com. And
I'd say it doesn't detract from the card that much, though.
no, it doesn't. You can't even notice it, especially if it's in a sleeve. Like, it's not going to be like too damaged. And again, it's just on that very edge of the card. And even with Dylan running his thumb along it, just kind of got rid of half of it. But it's just like one of those things where it's, oh no.
Yeah, we saw that with the first edition Flesh and Blood stuff.
Deckham is WotC staff. Well, Deckham, just let them know at home that they need to sharpen their cutters, please, because they have not been sharpening their cutters. We're seeing this a little bit. So again, in a matte sleeve, you don't get that cool shiny as much. But even look at the Forest logo. Looks great. Anyway, so going on too much about this. Let's keep going. We've got our first mythic pulled. It's one of the adversaries and Keen Evers 999 zombie gang. It's Tainted Adversary. 1 and a black for a 2/3 death touch. I'm in. Base 2/3 death touch for 2. This card is super playable already.
And then ETB kicker.
And get this. It's got a new kind of kicker. Dylan loves this. It's an ETB kicker. So whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 and a black any number of times. Each of the adversaries have this kind of effect, and there's 1 in each mono color. Oh, pulled that a little bit. Maybe I could pull a Sorceress class from Midnight Hunt. So far, seems like better chances than AFR. Thanks, Leader of Cola. That's actually a good friend of mine. So thanks for joining us on the stream today.
I also love the name.
Yeah, all the adversaries are in the same mansion. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, they are. Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a phenomenal little piece of. We're going to show them all together at some point. So, I was going to say, Dylan, do you want to chuck that Mythic spoiler page into the chat as well? Just so if anyone is at home, we start talking about more cards and we just don't have them up yet. You can jump on that Mythic spoiler page and look at the entire spoiler list as well. So every card you see us pulling in the flesh, it's a 5-way fight. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. All right. So I'm getting too excited.
Or an unfortunate night for whoever happens to be stuck there.
That's right. So I heard Painted Adversary and imagined White Scars who've just been Dulux rattle canned. Absolutely. So I'm going to enter this card's effect. I'm getting too excited. Pay 2 and a black any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on Tainted Adversary, then create twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with Decayed. Really cool cycle of cards. Leader of Color says, yes, these are definitely the pushed cards of the set. They're absolutely phenomenal. Jump onto our singles website for all of these as they go live onto the system as I pull them. Some may not, but we're hoping that they mostly all do. So I'm going to assume more of the flip cards are not going to show up in our system, but we'll test it out.
Yeah, I think it's more of the later commander stuff we may not see.
I think it's the flip and the commander stuff. We'll see what we get. So 3 mana per 2 zombies. Yeah, it's twice. I like that more. Yeah, because it's 3 mana for 2 2/2s. For 4 worth of power toughness, consider that they cannot block. We're going to get to Decayed. Oh, actually, it says right here. This is interesting. This is a new mechanic that the zombie tokens have called Decayed. It says, a creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at end of combat. So it's a very, very temporary permanent. It's a very temporary token. It cannot block. That's really important. That's massively important. That's a very aggressive play. Most zombie decks are going to win with cards like Zulbok, Cutthroat, Blood Artist, and Elder of Dementia. So having cards like this is absolutely phenomenal for that deck.
Even in stuff like Tergrid, where you're utilizing a lot of the graveyard pact the grave pact effects to get stuff off your opponent's board and onto yours, like having a creature that sacrifices itself.
Well, let's
value.
Let's just very quickly talk about the math here. This is 2 mana for a 2/3 Death Touch, or it's 5 mana for 2 2/2s with Decayed and a 3/4 Death Touch. Auto play. I'm even going to sleeve this card. I don't even know how much it's worth, but I'm going to sleeve this card. I haven't had to get
It's 1150.
That's a good card, yeah. So I'm definitely going to... Demir Zombie Precon pushed as hell. Yeah, Leader of Cola, you're absolutely right. The new commander from that set is freaking phenomenal. My partner Piper, my beautiful, lovely partner, Love It a Bits, is playing that deck, and I won't be calling her my Piper for much longer, you know what I'm saying? She beats me too many times with that deck, so... Alright, so we've got Brutal Cathar, which is what Piper's going to be when she destroys me with that deck. Brutal. 2 and a white for a human soldier werewolf, you know what that means, baby. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms, exile a creature opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield, and Brutal Cathar is the card that Declan was talking about earlier. Kind of crazy how much better the Demir deck is. Yeah, we're not going to get into talk about the commander decks just yet, guys, just because we could go on and on about why the Selesnya deck should never have been printed, but who knows. Alright, so 2/2 for 3 with Daybound. Of course, it's day. If a player casts no spells, it becomes night. Boo! Oh, love this artwork. It's Moonrage Brute. And it is a first strike, Nightbound 3/3. So it's a first strike 3/3 for 3. And then it's got pay 3 life for ward. So to target it with any cards or effects, your opponent has to pay 3 life.
Yep.
Amazing. Or it gets countered.
So that's the returning. That's like the returning like legacy mechanic now from Strixhaven.
Yes, they introduced it then, and then they're going to keep it around. And I think Ward is better than Hexproof, in my opinion. I think if more cards have Hexproof, the harder the game is to interact with. And the game is already hard enough sometimes to interact with. So having Ward and giving me the option to pay 3 life to remove this, especially in Standard, is huge. Oh, I fully plan on playing it because I was thinking of building zombies, then it got announced for easy money. I was going to say, yeah, jump in, pre-order your Innistrad products. You can pre-order the structure decks with us. You can pre-order set booster boxes. You know what? If it's a product for Innistrad, jump on our website. You can pre-order it. In fact, if it's an event, you can actually jump into our events right now. I don't think we're fully booked out yet. So
I think we're only booked out for Friday night.
Yeah, so Friday night, big no. Everything else,
Friday night casual.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Oorah. And Brutal Cathar was in the system, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's definitely not connected to the flip. All right. So then we've got a card that's quite interesting. It's called Memory Deluge. It's a very strange version of Dig Through Time / Drawn to Dreams. 2 and 2 blue for look at the top X cards of your library where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you pay it for 4 mana, you get to look at the top 4 cards. It's a little bit worse than Drawn to Dreams, but it is at instant speed. Now that's a big difference. Now Dig Through Time is instant, but Nuts Art, yeah, the art is freaking awesome.
Unfortunately, it's not in our system.
This one's not? Ah, yay, but it's phenomenal art. Actually, it's gross art because he's crying out of his eyeballs that I'm going to bring this right up to here.
Oh my god, dude.
I know. Oh no, you have to change the focus. Dude, look at this. How phenomenal is that? Friday Night Competitive Gang, ah woo. Check it out. Oh, I'm a massive fan of this one. Leader of Cola says, yeah, I just love this art. It's phenomenal. All right, thanks guys. I'm just going to let him focus that again because Dylan's not, there's no autofocus, it's all manual focus. So can I get a thanks for Dylan in the chat? Can I get TD in the chat for thanks Dylan in the chat for making sure we focus this perfectly. What a man, honestly. So I'm gonna put that in the not in the system gang. Oh, woo. Now God, there are some awesome cards in here, so I really hope these are in the system. Let's move out my extra list cards. Perfect. And let's talk about one of my favorite cards in the whole set. Deckham Redeemed Hydrate. Gonna grab my drink of water. Thank you so much, Deckham, reminding me to drink water. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that here. We have one of my favorite cards of the whole set. TD. Thank you, Keen Edwins. Guys, come on, catch up. Only Keen Edwins going to thank Dylan. That's kind of messed up, guys. We have Vanquish the Horde. It's 2 white for destroy all creatures. I'm joking. It's 6 and 2 white. For this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. Thanks, Leader of Cola. So thanks, Dylan. So we've got an 8 mana card that blows up all creatures. Or it's a 2 mana card that blows up all creatures. Or it's a 4 mana card, or it's a 5 mana card. But at the end of the day, very often...
It's a white Blasphemous Act.
Yeah, it's a white
It's
act.
what Blasphemous Act does anyway.
Kind of.
Vanquish the Horde is not in the system. Not yet. Not yet.
So,
we are jumping the gun a little bit early with these singles.
Yes.
So our system doesn't have all of the data input just yet.
So do we want to just crack the box and not bother that, and then we'll do that a little bit later? We'll add more.
Well, no, keep going. Just put it on the side because we're still adding stuff. There's still stuff.
Blastback 2. Who let this happen? Wrath of Godric. Yeah, exactly. Wrath of Godric. That's what we're going to call it from now on, Keenebers 999. Wrath of Godric. I like that a lot. All right. So yeah, we'll just have to, sometimes guys, the card will just not be in the system, unfortunately, and we'll just have to burn through it. All right, so next we've got a foil extended copy of Rockfall Vale. Now we were trying to decide what to call these. Now, I was comparing these to the Tango lands, which say, they have the land types, but they say they enter untapped, you control 2 or more basic lands. But these say they enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So not basic lands, but they don't have the land types. So I can't remember where I landed on it last night, but I was talking about these last night. I think we said they were...
We came up with Slow Dance in the
Slow Dance land.
In the
yeah.
pre-release
I think that's what Piper was saying. Yeah, Slow Dance. This is the Slow Dance lands, these ones here.
Because you still need 2 to tango, but it's a little bit slower. Yeah, Waltz lands.
Waltz lands. There we go. This land cycle is wild. You're absolutely right. It's very reminiscent of the Zendikar cycle, but very, very, very good as well. Again, not having those land types here means the card is a lot less impactful immediately, but I think this card's going to be awesome, especially in Commander.
Definitely good. Yeah,
Auto
definitely
including Commander. So definitely play this card.
I would argue that it's the replacement of Duels in Commander. Like, in terms of, like, budgetary.
Duels in the sense of...
Well, Duels tap for 1 of each, right?
Oh, like OG Duels?
Yeah, OG Duels.
Well, that's what the Tango lands are for, right? Because the Tango lands have those types as well.
Yeah, but they're also checking specifically for those types of lands. Whereas if you're playing like a more, like, even if you're playing a 5-color...
No, they don't. They just say 2 or more they say 2 or more basic lands. Basic lands. Yeah. So these are just worse than Tango lands. There's no argument there, unfortunately. But they're another Tango land, and that's a really important thing. They're another one. So you have 2 of them. So these aren't, I don't think, a replacement for Duels, but these are the kind of cards that if you're not interacting with your bounce lands, like Simic Growth Chamber, and you're not interacting with your cards like the ones that enter tapped and gain you a life, like those lands, a lot of people play those lands. These will be quite affordable. I would even say that I think they're called not check lands, but the ones that reveal a one or the other in hand.
Show lands.
The show lands from Shadows over Innistrad. I think these are better than show lands.
Yeah.
So if you're playing show lands, they're quite good.
Because they don't require you to have it in your hand or have like a specific... Because it's just 2 or more other lands. It's literally like Reliquary Tower, Temple of the False God, and now you can play that. You know, also, like it's not related to the basics.
You know what else?
So you can play it in those heavy non-basic land decks that you see, particularly in the 5-color realm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the I think that's our magnum opus point there. It's definitely got to get with the can't get it with Skystriker claims. See, that's the logic here, and you're absolutely right. But Dylan's right on the money there. 2 or more other lands is so relevant in 5-color decks.
Even 4-color decks, yeah.
Because shock lands and dual lands and all those lands, they're non-basic. Doesn't matter if they say Island Swamp, they're non-basic. So it doesn't matter how many of those you have, they all want to enter tap those Tango lands. These actually replace Tango lands in a 5-color deck that doesn't play enough basics to support it. So think about that. Sorry, talking about Rockfall Vale for a long time, but these cards are so cool. I don't know if you guys noticed a bit of an energy difference from this to AFR, but these cards are so cool. So
I don't know if I said it on stream already, but like, I probably did. It's the most fun I've had in a pre-release since...
You did, yes, you did.
Since Theros Beyond Death.
But that cannot be stressed enough. You may have already said it, but I don't care. I want you to say it 3 more times in the course of the stream.
It's just,
Guys, if you would like Dylan to stop saying it, send us a sub. Otherwise, he's going to keep saying it every 5 minutes. After turn 3, it's only a bit worse than a dual land, kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's only a bit worse than a dual land. Again, it doesn't have those card types. So cards like Skyshroud Claim, Fast Seek, and Fetch lands do not get to it. Very relevant, but still very
definitely sits in that budgetary realm.
So
and probably opens up those wider colored decks for newer players into the Commander sphere.
Yes, exactly. And again, $9 to $10 lands, can't go wrong. So, 1 in a red for an Aura Curse. And we didn't talk about this. Curse of Shaken Faith.
This is the one I was talking about with the pre-release yesterday.
You were,
where it punishes people for trying to pull you out of night.
Exactly. So this is whenever the Enchanter player casts a spell other than the first spell they cast each turn, or copies a spell. So if you're playing in the Strixhaven standard environment, Curse of Shaken Faith deals 2 damage to them. I would love to verse like a Riku of 2 Reflections deck and put this against him, and he goes, "Are you kidding, dude?
It's perfect. It's perfect for the Grixis Curse Commander."
How do I give an enchantment infect? How do I do it? How do I do it, boys? Find it out. Tell me in the chat right now. How do I give Curse of Shaken Faith infect so I can kill Riku players? All right.
Opalescence Pariah.
Opalescence Triumph for the Hordes. Just Opalescence Triumph for the Hordes, right? Because that makes it into a creature, and then Triumph for the Hordes gives a trample infect. Bam.
Yeah, perfect.
That's a sorcery. So you need you need Vidalcan Orrery to flash out the. Oh my god, this play is terrible. All right, our second.
But hey, it's like Door to Nothingness in Commander. If you could pull it off,
you're in. Okay, if I die to infect and it's because somebody flashed Triumph for the Hordes and killed me with a curse. I'm like, infect is balanced. All right, so we have Lord of the Forsaken, an amazing mythic. This is one of my favorite cards of the set as far as single cards go, not for supporting tribes or themes. Grixis Curse is going to make me commit war crimes against my pod. I'm telling you, man, playing Grixis Curses is actually on the Geneva Convention. It's an aura, though. Of course, Opalescence is only on global enchantments. That's a good point. Curses are auras. All right, Kian Edwards, you're a smart man. Work it out. Work it out. Tell me how it works. Does the guy from Magic Origins, the 5 mana, it's like 5 CMC for a white enchantment makes them into creatures? Does that work on auras? I bet you they all don't. Won't be made into a creature. Yeah, thanks, Kian. That's true. That's true. So let's talk about while Dylan looks up some Reddit examples. Lord of the Forsaken is 4.
Here we go.
Oh.
Liquid metal coating
turns any
into an artifact.
And then you turn
March of the Machines, turn each non-creature artifact into an artifact creature.
Thanks, Chad. All right, we're in. So you make it. I actually have both those cards. I could do that.
It's in Grixis too.
No, Triumph of the Hordes is green. You need to find
but Pariah is
Pariah. Yes. The Pariah is not infect, right? That just says it can't take damage. Or it's like any damage you would take goes to it instead. One of those two.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah.
What's the there's an infect enchantment that you can give.
Glistening oil. Glistening oil.
Yeah,
that's it. I think glistening oil is what I'm thinking of. It's too black.
All I remember is PJ gives it to Nekuzar.
Paige, get out of here. So glistening oil on top
enchanted creature has
of a March of the Machines, liquid metal coating, curse of Shaken Faith, boys. I want to see that. I want to see that happening on our regular and tune tables. I want to see it. Tainted Strike in black. That's an instant speed one too. There's also Phyresis, which also gives effects. There's 3
That's
ways.
It, Phyresis. That's the one he was talking about.
Yeah, there's 3 in black. I really wish that Lord of the Forsaken was Legendary Leader of Kola. Me too. Let's actually talk about this card and not keep talking about the Curse of Shaken Faith, even though I find that to be the best.
We can do it, boys.
Lord of the Forsaken, 4 and 2 black for a flying trample 6/6. Stats, great. Cost, great. Keywords, great. Pay 1 black and sack another creature. Target player, including yourself, mills 3. Great. Pay 1 life to add a colorless. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from your graveyard. Could you imagine if this card was actually like your commander?
Yeah.
Because you could definitely Yawgmoth's Will and just play everything from your graveyard and pay, and you can channel. You can channel Fireball, bro. Oh, okay. Hang on. This guy lets you channel Fireball if you give Fireball flashback.
Okay, so channel Fireball.
So channel is.
So you just run you run like any of the 2 give a card flashback.
Yeah, any of them. There's heaps actually. There's a good amount. So it's like there's the one that gives a red sorcery flashback. It's called Riku. Riku, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Riku is Recoup. GG Riku. I think that's the card I'm thinking of. Not Riku of 2 Reflections. Yeah.
Target sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback.
Yep, there you go. And then you fireball them with Channel Fireball. Oh, that's so cool, people. Okay, I am actually going to try this. This is actually a plan I want to try soon. I can definitely play this in my Entomb Reanimate deck. So I can play Entomb Reanimate with this and do Channel Fireball. And I can Entomb Fireball.
You know what's really great? Really great? You make sure Rakdos is at the helm just so you know that this whole deck is chaos.
Yeah, exactly. Or you put Rakdos, not Rakdos, what's his name? Bladewing the Risen as well, so you can get some other like cool stuff out of your graveyard and you're playing into the strategy too. So there's really cool options. Oh, you put Channel Fireball into your Grixis Curses deck.
Please, God, no.
Dude, can we give Fireball infect? I'm done. All right, I'm done.
All right. Unfortunately, Lord of the Forsaken is not in the system, so put that with the pile of cards that we need to enter next week.
Perfect. Next, we have some really cool stuff. So let's start with one of those really cool cards. I'm going to put this in a sleeve. I don't think it's... Oh, not yet. I got to show it to you. It's Ludovic, Necrogenius. Again, he's probably still not in the system.
He's not.
But look at this. So let's get some focus going, boys. Just for those in the chat.
Here we go.
Oh, no, he says. Oh, yep, that's a pod war crime. Yeah, it is. Channel Fireball. So Ludovic, Necrogenius enters... Oh, I'm not going to go through it again. Sorry, guys. But yeah, look at this.
What good art.
Do you know what's the best part about this card? Bro, you can use it to pay for their Sphere of Safety tax against Gravecrawler. Sphere of Safety stops attacks, bro. Sphere of Safety stops attacks. It's like a ghostly prison. What are you talking about? All right, let's take the other side. Whoa. And it is Olag, Ludovic's Hubris. At least he's smiling.
Yeah,
he actually looks pretty happy with himself. He's got a little bird. That's actually so cool. I really thought it'd be more of a sad story, but he seems to be pretty okay with it.
He's essentially Innistrad completed himself.
Yeah. He Innistrad completed it. I like that. Yawgmoth will be proud. Except that he's got blue in his color, and he's like, no. Then again, a lot of Phyrexians are Dimir, so really cool. All right.
Is he just the embodiment of Yawgmoth and Jin Gitaxias?
Essentially. He's got very like Scarab God vibes. I like his Scarab God vibes.
Yes. Well, that's essentially what the card does. It's
kind of like Scarab
I
God,
turn myself into whatever you exile with Scarab God kind of thing.
Yeah, except Scarab God does let you do it to your opponent.
Yeah.
So we've got some other cards. We'll go through 2 more cards here. It is Suspicious Stowaway. Now, we didn't talk about this too much, but this is a really interesting card because I'm pretty sure in Shadows there were no examples of this. But this is a Simic card, and it is a werewolf. It is a human rogue werewolf, 1 and a green. Can't be blocked. If it deals combat damage, you draw a card, discard a card. Can't be blocked 1/1 for 2 mana. Really good already. Amazing. Sphere of Resistance, he means. Yeah, true. Sphere of Resistance. I didn't want to be on you too much, so I just let that alone. But yeah, Sphere of Resistance, very cool. So, Suspicious Stowaway.
Such a great card.
Wait for it. Seafaring werewolf. Look at him. He's so cool. Big green eyes, hiding in the back of the ship. He can't be blocked again. He's a 2/1 now, not a 1/1. And when he deals combat damage to a player, you flat draw a card. I think these cards are so good. These are so good, these cards. I can't believe they power crept Luta Ilkor. He is after your kegs. He is after your kegs!
It's such a good card. I pulled one yesterday and managed to, and did a lot of work.
I will say that I wish Daybound wasn't such a long reminder text so they could fit some flavor text here, because this is the kind of can't be blocked green creature that's breaking the color pie. Stop! Green creatures say they assign their combat damage as though they weren't blocked. They don't say can't be blocked. Yeah, I was waiting for it. There it is. There's the color pie break comment from Kian. I love that. So, very cool. Very cool. This is feels like it's a Tolsimir card. Tolsimir. It feels like it's a Toski card until you turn it over to its blue side.
Yeah.
R&D cancelled. All right, so very cool. Very cool. Then we've got I love this card. Galvanic Iteration. For a blue and a red, for an instant, it's when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it's not as good as a Reverberate. It's not as good as a Fork. It's not as good as a Twin Cast, really. But it allows you to
So Suspicious Stowaway wasn't in our system?
It wasn't, my apologies.
No, but that one is.
This one is. Perfect. So, awesome card. Galvanic Iteration. And there are enough of these style of cards, I think, to really make like a Riku deck really pop off.
That Ludovic's not in our system.
Oh, this one isn't. Sorry, yeah, you're right. My bad. But don't worry, I've got the rest correct.
Cool.
My apologies. I thought he was. My bad. So, I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to do it. We're going to do it live. Veyran will slow your location. Exactly. Galvanic Iteration, really good in that deck too, because that is a trigger. So, really, really cool. It's a delayed trigger. So, I like that. But then again, it's very well designed for Veyran as well. So, I'm not exactly like, hey, guys, you don't have to print commanders and then print cards for them. They're meant to already have cards that work with them. You don't have to always print 18 cards for a new commander. This is the creating clues with Lonus, Galvanic Iteration with Veyran. These are all very new cards that are getting a bunch of support that really support their very specific kind of commander-centric theme. And I love cards that support my commander-centric theme. I just wish they didn't come so soon after the commander, because I like playing cards from 2003 and 2006, 2011. I like the history of the game. So why would I want to just fill my deck with cards from 2021? You know what I mean? So, speaking of, we're doing it live. It's Tovolar, the Dire Overlord. Now, this is the go-to kind of guy. He is an ex-Cathar, and he is a human werewolf. He is the pivotal new Gruul werewolf commander. Tovolar, the Dire Overlord.
You want a werewolf commander? Here's your goddamn werewolf commander.
So, it's a 3-mana 3/3, already based. Whenever a wolf or werewolf deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. It is mandatory, but it is per wolf or werewolf. A lot of these cards say 1 or more. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform any number of human werewolves you control. Now, why does it say transform any number of human werewolves control if they all transform during night? Because they don't. All of the transforming all werewolves in this set transform during the night, but all the werewolves in Shadows over Innistrad and Eldritch Moon, well, actually, Eldritch Moon had an activated cost, but in Shadows over Innistrad, none of those werewolves actually have the Night Battle Day Battle mechanic. So Tovolar now flips all of your human werewolves into their pure werewolf side, which we'll get to that side. So, it's really, really important for the deck that in your upkeep, at the start of your turn, you flip all your werewolves over to their nasty, hyper-efficient werewolf sides.
Did you say Eldritch Moon had a activated cost for flipping your guys?
Yeah, because they started as non-human werewolves and flipped into Eldrazi werewolves.
Oh, okay. Well,
Eldritch Moon, and
this is gonna flip them for free.
No, because they never started as humans.
Oh.
Yeah, they never start as humans. This flips human werewolves, so it never because this guy never accidentally flips your werewolves over. He always flips your humans over. They just happen to also be werewolves. but he doesn't flip humans that aren't werewolves. So he doesn't flip cards that have like disturb or have like any other means of transform. Like he doesn't have that. He does, however, transform humans. So let's see what he's transforming into. It's Tovolar, the Midnight Scourge. I'm gonna sit him like how close again so he looks like. Look at that right there.
Oh yeah, like our side.
Like
thing,
us,
yeah.
and it's just as blurry. Look at that. Double Tovolar. Tovolar fight. All right, I'm getting bored. All right, so this is a 4/4. So 3 mana still. So it's a 4/4, much better. And he's gonna flip himself because it's not other. No, any number, so he can flip himself. Also, it's any number. You don't have to flip them. If you like the human side, keep it around. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Same effect. Good thing it's not like draw and discard on one side, draw on the other. They're both draw, both very valuable. And then it's got Nightbound. And finally, for X, a red and a green, target wolf or werewolf you control gains +X/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. Now this does target specifically wolf or werewolves, but Kessig Wolf Run would be cool to combo with Arcane Adaptation naming werewolves. That would be very cool. Unfortunately, that would be obviously in a Teemo deck. So maybe you play werewolves with Maelstrom Wanderer, or you play werewolves with Anima and make them all cheaper. So there's some options.
So, but
Maskwood
everything
Nexus.
would need to be a human. Well, yeah, Maskwood
There's an
Nexus would
example.
do it.
Yeah, but the Arcane Adaptation you can call human, I'm pretty sure. So you should be able to do that.
Yeah, but you can't call human werewolf. That's the thing. You can only use human.
They already have the as in I'm saying you call werewolf because they're already humans. My apologies. They are like a lot of the creatures are already humans. So if they are humans already, you can just call werewolf and then flip them. That's what Kian's saying. Naming werewolves. Yeah, my apologies. Not naming humans. Obviously naming werewolves. But yeah, very very cool. Very very cool. If they are obviously flipping and then not like already, then yeah. But you could human like you mentioned before. If you name humans though, you could do the Eldritch Moon ones.
Mm-hmm.
You can flip Jaren. That's a good example. Yeah. So you can flip a lot of stuff. Like
because they're werewolf horrors and stuff like that.
Oh, you can flip like Ludovic. You know what I mean? you can flip Ludovic. So yeah, they're werewolf horrors. You make them human werewolf horrors and then flip all your other werewolves. So if you have, but then again, guys, Tovolar is probably your commander. So you do need to play Maskwood Nexus to make that happen. Not Arcane Adaptation. But Maskwood Nexus
will allow you to flip everything you have.
And Goblin Engineer will help you get to the graveyard with Goblin Welder helping you get it out. So there's a way to pretty quickly get to it too if you're looking for it. You can play Gamble. Yeah, that's not bad. So there's some options.
Bold strategy.
Good strategy. So Tovolar was in the system perfectly?
Yeah, Tovolar
Wonderful.
Now he's a sleevey card.
He's a sleevey card. All right, so he is a sleevey card, I realize. Yeah. Well, of course he is, because he's the go-to werewolf commander. I don't see this guy holding his value for too long, but I'm hoping that some people do get into Tovolar just because he's going to be a very awesome card. And once Innistrad rotates out, I'm telling you now, once Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow are kind of out of that cycle, you're going to want Tovolar, trust me. And when they support werewolves in the future, you're going to want Tovolar, trust me. So get your hands on one as soon as possible. You don't have to worry about it. You've got a foil here. It's Vadric, the Astral Archmage, who is my favorite pack commander, I think. I'm really a big fan of this guy. He's 1 blue-red. He's not in the system, unfortunately, but he is a 1/2. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day as he enters the battlefield, which is interesting because he's like a star charter, which you think would be easier to do at night. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is his power, so originally it's just one less to cast. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a 1/1 counter on Vadric. Now you could focus this and make it all about flipping day to night, day to night, day to night, but for me, I think you're just going to play cards that buff his power up, give him a couple of 1/1 counters, and then kind of play brute strength. Brute strength, yeah, absolutely. So you can play like your big brute strength cards, you can play your big like giant growth style of red cards, so yeah, might have just like killed that one. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. Big fan of Vadric. So you're timing him out.
No, I'm not going to time him out.
You're tempted to. I can see you thinking about it. So Vadric really cool. I think he's a really cool commander. Give him a shot. Things like double power, things like +X. Gang, Kino would say. Brute strength gang. Woo. All right, so that is where I'm up to on boosters. I'm going to start burning through some boosters, and then Dylan. Oh, whoops, Keen Edward says. Uh-oh, he says. My bad. All right, so I'm cracking more boosters. Dylan is going to talk about more cards.
Well, we're going to talk about the mechanics. We've kind of gone through a lot more stuff now with the Decay. Decay is another new mechanic, but another new mechanic that we haven't come up with yet is Coven. By the way, do you want to like crack the packs on screen so there's still something on camera?
Yeah, I'll do that now. Yeah, I'll make sure I do that.
But the new mechanic that's come up called Coven. So Coven counts how many different powers are among creatures you control, and then they do some sort of effect. It's I really like it as a tribal mechanic, as a way to find like a tribe within the tribes kind of thing. Like humans typically have, like most humans are like one power, but having that bit of a change across it gives Coven quite a strong like appeal as a tribal mechanic.
Yep.
Because a lot of the werewolves also have very similar power. I'm finding a lot of the werewolves are like 2s to 4s.
They're quite, and I think they're quite standardized. Yeah, look
That's
how cool
a
that is.
stamped art card of Tovolar.
Of Tovolar himself. So that's going in the old collection. Big fan of that card. We have
the Coven also is like the key to the. Oh,
I know, right? Look at this.
I'm putting that in straight away.
Chuck that one in there too.
What number is that?
That is number 273.
273 Neiman foil. Yeah, that's what the second commander deck is too. The Coven counters.
Yeah.
So it's white green basically counters, but it has a lot of Coven mechanics to it. So you want to like start messing around with your counters and building your own like different powers across your creatures, which I think is a really fun kind of like battle cruisery sub game, where you're kind of protecting your board and building your own spot, and then you can start slamming out the Coven stuff.
Yeah, it seems really interesting.
Which again was something that I managed to do yesterday because it was essentially like a Coven / werewolf mix in blue, green, red. Because it's pre-release and you've got 6 packs. You do what you can.
I will quickly say that there are some really interesting like art design. I will say I do like open-ended keywords. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Whether it's a keyword, it's a keyword that's not going to. What's really frustrating is it's a keyword that's not going to stay around. It's not an evergreen keyword. So they're going to have, if this is well received, they're going to have the same rules written somewhere else, but it won't be related to Coven.
Yeah, that's why I will say. Like, you're absolutely right. Coven can have any effect stapled onto it, but at the moment, with Innistrad, it's hard to have that Coven like keyword that really feels like it fits a lot of sets, because Coven is a very like witchy thing, dark, nasty thing. Like when it comes to like the design of it.
I haven't really experienced anything that references Coven across any of the cards I've seen so far. Like in terms of it not referencing itself, kind of thing. It's like if you have Coven or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is really frustrating because there is a card in this set that is essentially Surveil.
Yep.
And I had this discussion. I don't know if it was with you or with PJ. But it's really frustrating that they use this mechanic Surveil and then they've created cards that trigger based on surveillance.
Yep.
And now they've made a new card that does Surveil, but doesn't have the keyword attached. So it doesn't actually trigger the Surveil cards, even though it is essentially Surveil. It's Consider.
Okay.
It's it's a 1 mana instant. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard, draw a card.
Yes.
It's
Surveil.
Surveil, draw a card.
Yes. But the interesting part...
I was talking about that to you as well, Siren
The interesting weird thing is that Surveil exists in Innistrad.
Yeah.
There are cards that Surveil. There's a new card in the Wiltelt commander deck called Eloise, Nephalia Sleuth, who actually has a Surveil trigger. Eloise.
Eloise.
Nephalia Sleuth. And she actually has written down on her Surveil 1.
Whenever you sacrifice a token Surveil 1, look at the top card of your library, you may put that into your graveyard.
Yes.
Like, bro. Why did you...
So what I want to show Dylan right now is we did get another mountain. And this time it's another foil.
Foil mountain?
But this one is actually... this one has been eviscerated by the cutter. It's on the top, it's on the right, and it's on the left. Dylan, I want you to have a look at this card. Look at this thing. Like, quality control, guys. Come on. It's everywhere.
We're going to have to not put this one up in.
Yeah.
And then I'll just take it.
You'll have to...
I'll just have to take it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Dylan will just have to take that one.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Sorry. But no, that is actually, guys... No, can you know, guys?
Yeah, I'm going to put that one in.
It's like Heroic, Would says. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So Heroic is just like when you target it in Theros Beyond Death, they removed Heroic and just set it as its own condition. Very, very interesting. So it's kind of sucky when they do get rid of those extra mechanics and they kind of...
But that's just even more frustrating. That it's literally a commander card coming out in that
same set. Yep.
That
How frustrating would
says
that be?
Surveil as a keyword that happens.
Yep.
And you have a card in that set that surveils, but does not have Surveil on it.
They'll just put it in a set without the keyword. Yeah, that's what's going to be. Coven is going to see more and more play because here's the thing. Coven is interesting because it's one of these things that reminds me of pack tactics, where it's like if you attack with creatures whose power is 6 or greater, you get that benefit. And then Coven...
Or Ferocious from
Ferocious as
Forge.
well, yeah, Ferocious. Well, Ferocious is just if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. It's not if you're attacking with it.
What was the one with if you have total power of 6 or greater? Was that wasn't?
That
was
Ferocious,
Pack Tactics.
Yeah, well, Pack Tactics was the 6 or greater one,
Yep.
and then Ferocious was overall creatures. It just wasn't on attack. I don't think there was one on attack.
No,
yet.
it was just
That the first
overall
one. It was
creatures.
overall, which is I think is better. But again, that's like physically better, not necessarily more well designed, if that makes sense. We have 2, 6, 8 foil planes. Just quickly, while I'm grabbing these, I will like show.
Is that one better?
This is really nice. The top is a little bit frayed and the left side's a little bit frayed, but it's hardly noticeable compared to that last mountain we just saw.
268, yeah.
2, 6, 8, correct.
It's in.
Also, very quickly, art card, my favorite art in the set. I'm not going to name this card yet because it's a mythic, but it's absolutely awesome. The Innistrad spirits are my favorite design of spirits. I love cards like Rattle Chains, and that is a freaking phenomenal card. That's a freaking phenomenal one. Sachi already owned this card, but that's really cool. Go on those. So. All right, so I'll go just a little bit more cards, be a little bit quick about it. So we've got...
Sorry, back to the Ferocious thing. It triggers an advantage for a player if they control a creature with power 4 or greater.
That's one creature with Ferocious. But there was one that had all your creatures, right?
Well, the mechanic now is essentially without an ability word.
Yes, that's correct.
So War of the Spark had 5 cards that were not explicitly ferocious.
But had the, like, ferocious requirement.
Yeah, well, it gives X with the greatest power among creatures you control.
Oh, it's
kind of ferocious.
That's not ferocious in my opinion, because ferocious is 4. It needs to be affecting that number for it to be actually comparable. I'm sure there is one that says if you control a creature with power 4 or greater.
Leafkin Avenger, add a green from M21, add green for each creature you control power 4 or greater.
But that's not ferocious, if that makes sense, right? You don't need to make that one condition and get it off. It's still a little bit different. So I'm glad those mechanics are...
Warden of the Chained can't attack unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater.
There you go, that's ferocious. So there you go, straight up.
Warden of the Chained, ferocious.
Ferocious. So that's
from Theros Beyond Death.
Yeah, if you have ferocious, you can attack with this creature.
Yeah.
So interesting though, it kind of is lame. I will agree that they're kind of working with keywords in ways that are, oh my lord, look at the art on this thing. Oh my goodness.
Is that an art card for a
art
land?
Mountain. That's an art card for the art mountain. Oh my goodness gracious. Imagine playing a deck full of these. Because they tap for red anyway, like you wouldn't even care, right? It's a weird plastic. It's a weird card plastic, but still.
I would legit let someone play them.
Yeah, I would. If somebody had a whole deck of these, I'd let them play them.
Oh my god.
So pretty. So phenomenal. Alright, so...
On a side note, if anyone's got any gets any art cards for mountains or swamps, let me know.
Yeah, just let us know in the stores. Let us know. Come in.
Just swing it my way, and I'll deal with it for you.
Over here, All right, so I'm going to crack open one last pack, and then we're going to start talking about some cards. I love this. Like crack down, grab the corner, pull them out. That's a good feel. That's a good pack feel. Ooh, speaking of that spectral card, this is another cool.
Oh, that's another one of those.
Another one of those cool
One of those
epic
mansion
boys.
people.
Mansion boys. All right, so let's see how we're going with this. So you have to be very careful when opening these set boosters, by the way, guys, because as Dylan mentioned before, they do have like up to 4 rares per booster, and I have opened some boosters that had a rare like halfway through the booster. Super crazy.
Actually, that's not legal.
Oh yeah, whatever. You know what, kid? Walk.
I don't know. You know, maybe you have that rule that
What's that
rule zero
the
discussion.
Yeah. Maybe the first rule of the game, rule 0.
Yeah. Anyway, by the way, if anyone's noticed in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we have sub goals now.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about sub goals.
We finally have sub goals. If you have a look, we reached our sub goal of playing Pokemon Master Trainer on stream.
We did. It was awesome on the Flash
on Saturday night. That was insane. And now we are only 19 subs away from the goal of running a Disney Pixar's Cars RPG one-shot.
Cars RPG one-shot. We haven't entirely landed there yet, but that's what the plan is. So if you're excited for that, let us know in the Discord, let us know in the chat. If you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments. If you're excited for our Game-a-thon massive stream of designing the Car PG and running a one-shot of the Car PG.
If you want to see Trent or PJ run an RPG one-shot of D&D that is essentially Disney Pixar's Cars.
We're going to run through the plot of Cars 2 with all original characters. So if you like the plot of Cars 2, and we know you didn't, you're going to love this one. All right, so if you would do... I'm telling you, man, the cards do...
the Planes Fire and Rescue supplement book.
Oh, no. No. Back to Magic the Gathering. Dire Strain Rampage. This card's really interesting. It's a sorcery, which is kind of weird. Blow up an artifact, enchantment, or land. If it blow up a land, the controller may play 2 basic land cards on the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, they search library for a basic land for battlefield tapped. It's a very weird card. 3 mana for a sorcery that if you blow something up, your opponent gets to ramp no matter what happens is kind of rubbish. I think you're going to be using this more on yourself. So yeah, Dire Strain Rampage. Interesting card. I think that there's a few cards in this set that have a lot of text. They have a flashback effect, and then because of that flashback effect, they have made them by definition very inefficient. I think this card is incredibly inefficient, but because you're able to play 2 of it, it's way more efficient. And because you can just discard it early in the game, if you're playing like... Anyway, so if you're playing like... okay, you got to mute this guy. No,
Look, Ken, if you want to see it, you can sub.
If you want to see it, you got to sub. I want to see that sub pop up right effing now. I want you to give 5 subs in the chat. You know what? What you're saying in the chat right now that I'm not going to repeat for the YouTube audience, get it in there. All right, so Dire Strain Rampage. Really cool card. That's in the system. All goods?
Yeah.
Deckham Retrieved Hydrate again. Very important. Thank you, Deckham. Always appreciate that. I gotta take like smaller and smaller sips because otherwise the hydrate becomes, we need a stream break so Trent can take a stream break. Wake to Slaughter.
Oh, I love this card.
I can't lie. Not only is this card cool, it's got a phenomenal art. The art direction of Innistrad is out of this world. I'm bringing it right up for those to see. Look at that art direction. So you've got all these like what looks like souls coming down from the sky, like entering these bodies that are like waking up to fight.
I have actually no idea how Twitch works.
Well, you can just damn it, call my bluff. I have no idea how to do that. Just the sub button. Hit that massive sub button. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to hit that massive... No. All right. Wake to Slaughter. 3 in red, green with a flashback of 4 in red, green, Trent. Black, red.
It's black, red.
3 in black, red. I don't know why I said that. 3 in black, red for a flashback of 4 in black, red. Choose up to 2 target creature cards in your graveyard. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that in your hand and return the other to the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. You must exile it at the beginning of the next end step. That last line of exile thinking of the next end step, very exciting because you can Obika in response to keep it around forever. This might be an Obika card. Big fan of that idea. It's weird the sub button says hydrate on it. Oh. I don't know if that's true, Deckham. I don't know.
So Wake to Slaughter's not in the system.
It's not in the system, but it's still a cool card.
I love it because it's dumb. It plays into that Rakdos-y chaos of oh hey, I'm gonna bring some things back, but you get to choose.
You get to choose. Yeah, there you go. You get to make
you get it. How do I kill you? Let's find out.
It reminds me of like a card that would go into like a Carevek the deck, where it's like Carevek giving everyone else the options. Like, you guys are hurting each other. I'm just here to play. Like, let's just get some stuff going. And they kill Carevek. You wait to sort of bring you back Carevek, and you say to the person, "Hey, you want to give me back Carevek? I'll Obika it after. I'll keep him around." Hey, there it is. Thank you, Tina. Just
thanks
subscribe
for the sub.
at tier 1. Thank you so much for the sub. That's now 18 subs away from our goal. Thanks, guys. Always appreciate it here. Thank you so much for supporting us. Sub goal, Disney Pixar's CarPG one shot. I love that's actually up there. I didn't even see that. So that's awesome. All right. So next we've got a Smoldering Egg. An awesome card for you Latless players out there because it doesn't matter what it says. It says 2 CMC for a dragon. Doesn't matter what else it says because it makes a 5/5 when you have Latless out. So
it's also for the Gavi Nest Warden.
It's also for the Gavi Nest. Atlapalani. Yes, that's better. No,
it's the new egg. It's what, 9 eggs now?
9 eggs. It's another egg. Eggs are fun. So Smoldering Egg.
It is not in the system though.
Oh, wonderful. 2 mana Defender, Dragon Egg. Whenever you cast an instant spell, you put a number of Ember counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. If that has 7 or more Ember counters on it, remove them and transform it. So it's in a Spellslinger deck, in any kind of big spell deck that's really easy to get off. You play a Fireball where X, like a Giant Emulating Inferno, where X is 5. No joke, this card does in fact slap. Yeah, it's very, very good. Now we're going to find out why it's even more impressive because it hatches into Ashmouth Dragon. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, Ashmouth Dragon deals 2 damage to any target.
It just shocks.
This is going to be a massive standard staple. It's going to be a massive limited powerhouse. This is absolutely incredible. If you're in the Strixhaven format for standard, this is absolutely crazy.
Does Red Deck Wins return?
Oh, absolutely. Red Deck Wins is going to make a comeback for sure. Definitely like or at least just like an aggro burn variant is definitely going to make a return, which is essentially Red Deck Wins anyway. So very, very, very good. So Ashmouth Dragon is going to be an awesome card. Get your hands on it. It's not in our system, but when it is, pick it up. All right. We've got another cool commander. This one's the best commander. You know it's the best because it's mono white. It's Adeline, the Resplendent Cathar. I love the Cathars. 3 CMC, 3 mana value, 1 and 2 white for a X4 card. It's a variable and then 4. Its power is variable. It's a vigilance card with its power is equal to the number of creatures you control. So very, very, very big. You've got Play with Fire and the Uncommon Wizard Lady for the red burn deck. Yes, that's absolutely right. So we've got Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, Vigilance, X power. Whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. So very, very good. She comes in. She's a 1/4 normally. She becomes a 4/4 with Vigilance. So very, very good. And then she can get even higher and higher and higher. Give her some of the swords. Play like a SRAM deck with her at the helm with a couple of like creature generation. Feels a bit like a Kemba Car regen deck that doesn't just auto lose when it gets removed. Like Kemba Car regen gets spot removed 3 times and the game's over for you, whereas this is more like focused on just herself and just interacting with, every time she's out, she's attacking with Vigilance, she's not tapping, she's blocking as well, and she's just a huge like piece. So she doesn't require too many steps together to make her work, but she's interesting. Another way is awesome showcase cards has reared its ugly head. I love these things. They're really, really phenomenal. And this is Catilda, the Dawnheart Prime. It's got a very Matilda feel, actually, with their arms like swinging around with the psychic energy.
No.
Not in the system, but it is a green-white human warlock with the ability protection from werewolves. So you know it's going to be that standard go-to kind of card. For the red bird deck, also, she doesn't have to attack because it's whenever you attack with any creature. So that's right, Kian. So it's when you attack with any creature. So you could make the tokens and then just attack and not attack with her. I think with her vigilance and her 4 toughness, and you're playing in mono white, I think you are probably going in the direction of like cards like sort of Feast and Famine, and you're going in that direction of like getting her in, and even like Whisper Silk Cloak for the unblockable shroud, and just making sure she's always generating tokens. Because while it is really useful for that in that context, I think she's going to be going in a lot more just because she also focuses on that too. Yeah, on the turn she hits the board, that is actually very relevant as well. You're not going to always Lightning Greaves her, so you can put her down with a creature out, attack an opponent, and then you are making a bunch of 1/1s. So it can make her very tall very quickly. That's a really good point there too. So yeah, exactly. You don't need haste, which is correct, because you're not always going to have access to it. So yeah, very, very cool on Adeline. I'm talking about her, talking about Catilda. We are talking about currently back about Adeline for a second. That's who we were mentioning before. We've got Catilda, the Dawnheart Prime. So again, 2 mana for a 1/1. Human creatures you control have tap at a mana of any of this creature's colors. And then for 4 green-white tap, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. I think regardless of the protection from werewolves...
She gives your creatures Slowvoke.
Slowvoke. I like that. I really like that. It reminds me of
I was working on that for a while.
I like that. Catildolith Right. That's what we call it. It's a Catildolith Right. That's what it makes. Catildolith Right. Catildolith Prime. Cryptolith Prime. There it is. Cryptolith Prime. I like that a lot. So very, very, very cool. I really like this card. Who cares about protecting werewolves in Commander? But as a Commander, I think this card's really, really cool. If your deck requires, in your pod, if you require protection from werewolves, you're probably doing something wrong. That probably isn't Tolvar's fault that you're losing. So I do like the idea of just the Cryptolith Right.
I feel like that's like almost an instant include in Trostani decks.
Oh, absolutely. This card is going to make itself into a lot of decks. And like I said, I cannot stress this enough. If I could have Cryptolith Right in the command zone, I would. And here's the thing. You know who's going to love this card? Imara.
Yep.
Because she wants your creatures to tap. And now you've got a card that is another Cryptolith Right getting you another tap. And guess what? Not everyone can afford Earthbind. So out of nowhere, you don't have to play this reserve list cards. And then...
Hell, even Cryptolith Right's pretty expensive still.
She makes soldiers, unfortunately. No, but the deck is still tapping like creatures. That's the whole idea. Obviously, like her elves aren't going to tap for this, which is not probably why she needs. But I think Imara herself is an elf, actually, more accurately. That's the relevant part. So my apologies. The Imara herself is the elf, because it doesn't matter what she creates, but I think she is an elf, so can't tap her. But hey, guys, don't forget you can always play Maskwood Nexus. So if you don't have a Maskwood Nexus, by the way, get one, because that card's insane. Also, I think as far as Cryptolith Right is concerned, I'm glad this card even just exists in any human deck, because it is, like I just saw, not only is Earthbind an incredibly expensive reserve list card, Cryptolith Right is a pretty expensive card itself.
Yeah, it's a $16 card.
It's a $16 card. Was that US as well? I think that
was
US.
Australian.
Oh, Australian. But still, $16 card. I've seen it go for a lot more than that, so I wouldn't be surprised if you picked up a couple of dollars for this. And while it only works on humans, it's, yeah. Not human soldiers, Kino, it says, yeah. It's not about the soldiers she makes, but she herself is an elf, so very relevant. Either way, Catilda's going to be a very cool card and a very cool deck. And then let's not forget that it puts the 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's actually not useless. It is 6 mana, but it's meant to be a little bit extra. It's one of those extra effects that doesn't feel like it's going to end up like Urza or like Golos, where it's broken because it's flipping cards up the top. It's just like a pretty cool thing on the side, which it should be.
Yo, Spirit Lord.
Spirit Lord, what is this? The 7th Spirit Lord. So it's Patrician Geist, 2 and a blue for a 2/2, flying, Spirit Knight. I'm excited. This card's my favorite. I love it. Other spirits get 1/1 for flying, and spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. It is everything you want for a spirit card. Who's Golos? Sounds like a banned card. I actually don't even know what that is. I don't know what banned card. What does that mean? What does that?
As if we talk about band cards.
What's a banned card? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of those. A card for those with patrician taste. Yeah, it's very funny. All right, so the card's really good. That is in the system, I assume. You're gonna let me know otherwise,
Yes.
obviously. We now have another adversary. So we have Intrepid Adversary. So based on the fact, okay. Based on the fact that I can see this spectral claw right here, they're definitely fighting each other. There's definitely this big fight between them. Look at them, they're getting
It
scared.
looks like he's in like the wine cellar.
Do you see the chains? See the
Yeah.
chains there? Ooh, very exciting. I hope we get one. I hope we get one. So, 1 and a white for a 3/1 lifelink. Obviously, by the way, guys, this card is going to be busted. When it enters the battlefield, obviously, it is an ATB trigger. You may pay 1 and a white any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many Valor counters on Intrepid Adversary. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each Valor counter on Intrepid Adversary. Well, that's a lot worse than the zombie. That's a lot worse than the zombie. As far as the mono white example goes, maybe it's not as exciting, but as a 3/1 for 2, it's already really good. It's got lifelink, that's great. It ETBs, you pay 6 for it. It's giving it +2/+2 Anthem, and you can play this in something like Atraxa and proliferate it a bunch of times. And if you can proliferate this over and over again, it's very, very good. So if you guys can want to interact with this card, definitely. If you want to play this card in a vacuum, maybe not. Maybe just a human deck is not all that good, but it's definitely still a playable card. It may just not be auto-include. If you're in proliferate and you want to go proliferate wide, it's basically auto-include. So definitely get your hands on one of those.
What's the anthem? What's it called?
What
Is
anthem?
it Glorious Anthem?
Yeah, there's Glorious Anthem, but there's heaps of them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the efficiency of it though. Like,
Oh yeah, so Glorious Anthem is 1 and 2 white, right? With for 1/1.
yeah,
So this is actually for 4 mana and it's giving 1/1. So it's a little bit less efficient than that.
it's only efficient if you go harder into it.
Well, even then, let's talk about Dictate of Heliod. Because Dictate of Heliod is a flash 5 mana enchantment that I think gives you +2/+2. Beanalish Marshal. Yeah, it's a very Beanalish Marshal style of card as well. So being a creature, it's very relevant. So looking at like Beanalish Marshal is what, 3, 2 and 2 white? Or maybe it's 3 and a white.
3 whites.
3 white. Oh, this is the knight guy that gives the white. This is the guy that gives the 1/1 anthem. I was thinking of Range Reveals. So yeah, this gives the 1/1 anthem. That's fine. Again, not as efficient as those cards, but I would argue this card's more efficient than Beanalish Marshal because it is not all white. You can pay their colors.
Yeah.
So it's there's some cool stuff you can do with it. So I really recommend giving this a shot. But again, I don't think that regardless, in a vacuum, it's not efficient. So do be aware of that. It's not gonna be a card that you're like, it's gonna win me games every time, and it's like
It's definitely not a card that you build around in draft. But if you open it in pack 3 and you're in white,
it's good.
or you have or you need an off color, it's worth it to grab it then.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So Kian is like saying it's a hard disagree. Yeah, sure, that's okay. It's an anthem, so it definitely doesn't work in a. Oh yeah, it's great in draft. Yeah, definitely. It's just not a deck.
It's not a deck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a deck. It's great in draft. There's no argument there. I think that's what Dylan's talking about. It's like you would auto take it in your 3rd pack.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you would still auto take it in any real pack because it is that mythic slot and is a really good card for that slot. But again, you might not be building into it. If it's pack 2 and you're not building into it, don't take it. But if it's pack 3, it might be that off color you need.
Yeah.
So I think there's some relevance there. I think there's a good point. It is great in draft. There's no argument there. But it's just not so auto include.
I'd say it's not great to build around. It's a great addition to a deck, not a great deck.
Well, let's talk about this, right? Tainted Adversary versus Intrepid Adversary. What are you taking in draft?
Oh, tainted.
What are you
down.
taking in draft? So this is one of the things. I sure the card, like I said, in its own vacuum, it's fine. It's great in draft in its own vacuum, but when you compare it to the other adversaries, it becomes really, really.
Or even some of the other stuff that you'll see in a draft anyway. Like
that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's
like-
definitely going to show up.
it's definitely a rare over.
I'm taking the foil, he says. Oh yeah. Believe it or not, I am going to take the foil copy of the Mythic. Believe it or not. Now we have, sorry to inject that, Dylan. I'm just going to add some more cards. So I've got here Augur of Autumn. It's 1 and 2 green for a human druid. This card's awesome. It's 2/3. You look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play land from the top of your library. As obviously that follows the rules of land playing.
This was a lot of fun. I had this one yesterday.
As long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So it reminds me a bit of a condition for a cheaper version of what's Ronus's little guy?
Sorry, that tainted adversary, was that foil?
No.
Okay, cool.
No. So if it was in foil, we know. So it's a very Corsair Krufix style of card, this guy.
Yeah.
It's a very Corsair Krufix style of card. I was talking about this actually recently. It says you may look at the top card of your library. Corsair Krufix says you play with the top card of your library.
Reveals, yeah.
This being not an enchantment and not revealing it, if you currently play Corsair Crucifix, good on you, that card is really awesome. Swap it instantly. No question about it. This card is just literally, this card has strictly outplayed it. Like, this card is just better. Play this card.
I actually played that with Suspicious Stowaway yesterday.
Very cool.
So before I'd go into attack, I'd look at the top. I had Coven out as well, so if it was a creature, I could play it if I wanted to. If I just didn't want it or didn't go into my game plan, I would just leave it there, attack with Suspicious Stowaway.
Draw and discard it.
Gone. And now I keep looking.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
I like that. I really like that. No, my Centaur Tribal Arenos. No. Well, that's okay. That's okay. You could play, I think if you're in Constellation and you're playing Corsair over Augur, maybe that's correct. Keenway's keeping our chat alive today.
Our subs are at 83.
83?
When did that go up to 83?
I didn't see a sub. Oh, weird. All right, so I'm going to get through some more cards, talk about some more stuff. We've got a really cool one drop. You want to talk about a draft, an awesome draft card? It's Willowgeist. If you see a Willowgeist, you're taking it. This is a cool deck, both in draft and limited. It's really, really good. I think this card's really good in Commander. I'm going to be playing one of these in my Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn deck. It's really cool in a lot of those style of strategies. 1 green for a 1/1 trample, Tree Folk Spirit. You know when a card is a 1/1 for 1 with trample, it's going to go up. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, oh, believe it or not, put a 1/1 counter on Willowgeist. So flashback, resurrection, you get bogged. It is 1 or more cards. If you get bogged, boo-hoo. When Willowgeist dies, you gain life equal to its power. Die beneath the tree, wake up a part of it. So very, very cool. If you greater good this, you draw a ton of cards, discard some cards, gain a bunch of life. Very cool.
If you open that card in pre-release or even in a draft, like Bant Spirits, hands down, like done. Like
easy.
That's the difference between this and Intrepid Adversary.
Yeah.
I would build around this.
Yeah. Well, I would like this as also like not just Bant Spirits, but like Bant Disturb.
Yeah.
Bant Disturb.
Bant Disturb.
Ooh, yeah. Flashback Disturb, really good. And yeah, just the spirits as well. So yeah, that's a great example. That's another great example. I'm going to bring back up the Intrepid Adversary. It's a really cool card. We don't want to we're not trying to shit on Intrepid Adversary. It's a cool card, but like again, look at that. What are you taking? So I think Intrepid Adversary does have those picks though.
Yeah.
I think this requires more effort to build around, Kian says. I absolutely agree, but I also think that the effort is coming with every second card in the set. The effort is right. It does take more effort to build around, and if you see it really late, it's not going to be the big game changer.
No.
But if you see this on turn 3 or turn 4 in a limited environment,
it's essentially the opposite of Intrepid Adversary. If I saw that in pack 3 and I wasn't building that way, I'd consider just moving it on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Intrepid Adversary, if I saw that in pack 3, I'd probably take it, even if I wasn't running white, purely just to be like, if I go 3 colors, this could be a game changer.
That's cool.
Like, if you're playing red-green werewolves and then you have one guy that just goes, I'm going to anthem all your werewolves, like...
It's not bad. It's
not
bad
why not?
At all. Definitely done. And then it makes the human side very efficient as well.
Yeah.
So I'd like to add as well very quickly that it's really interesting to me how the room right now is buzzing. We're loving this set already. But what's really awesome is that let's talk about other sets we've gone through in the past. How many times have we been talking this much about the limited environment, the draft environment? We never talk about the draft.
Yeah.
We're always talking about Commander because that's the game mode that we play the most. But this set's such a cool limited environment.
I'm excited to draft this.
Yeah. And I never draft, and even I'm excited to draft this, and I never draft. So I've got some other cards. I got 2 more cards here from Innistrad, and I actually pulled some cool Commander cards, so we'll get to that. Now, we've got Curse of Surveillance. I freaking love this card. So 4 and a blue, a little bit expensive.
It has Surveil in the name.
Oh! Enchant Player. That's the Surveil card that we know. That's where it is. That's where all the Surveil card went. That's where all the design space went. Enchant Player. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's upkeep, any number of target players other than that player, each draw cards equal to the number of curses attached to that player. For every eye gouged out, 2 blinked open. Ooh. Can we get this closer? Guys, just so we're clear, a lot of these curses, like Curse of Opulence, where it's like he's got so much gold that everyone's like running around him and picking up the gold, like the Curse of Hunger, where he's like, the Curse of, whichever one's like with the wolves or eating too much food, whatever. These are not, like, they don't scare me, but look at that. Can you imagine getting somebody curses you and you just start growing eyeballs all over your body? And then like when you try to get them out surgically, new ones just grow. Yeah. Anyway, card's really cool. Very cool card, very good card. You can always just target yourself. Or You could do like a weird forced fruition deck where you target yourself with this and put a bunch of good curses on yourself. Well, good curses, but a bunch of better curses on yourself. Like a bulwarking defensive curses where you can't attack me with all my opulence and such. And then Spooky the Ghost Catcher, first of all, welcome to the chat. Second of all, I'm so excited for the two-headed giant on Sunday. Aren't we all, my friend? It's going to be awesome. I love the two-headed giant because it means you can really create some really awesome decks because you do have those two kind of toolkits to work with. And that's my favorite one about it.
Just like the recent sets too, there's plenty of each opponent.
Yeah, plenty of each opponent stuff, which is crazy. I will say that always makes the rules stuff in two-headed giant a bit kind of annoying to explain.
It does make the day-night cycle, the way that Daybound's done now, really, really interesting too, with the fact that like if only one player on the team can get those two spells out, it can flip.
You can flip it.
But it's likely in the two-headed giant environment that at least one of the players there is going to be playing werewolves.
Yep.
So now it becomes a game of, do I flip? If I flip this over to night, now one of their players is going to have a buff, and you got to like...
Well, yeah, but that operates in the 1v1 as well. But what's really interesting about the 2v2, the two-headed giant as well, is like, am I able to play my two spells this turn to push my strategy because my teammate might lose their werewolves?
Yeah.
Right? How messed is that?
Yeah.
So I'm forced to be careful with what I'm doing. I can't just randomly play, is it Vadric like spell slingers? I can't do that.
Yeah.
So very interesting. I'm going to show off this card quickly. Hallowed Respite. This is a great example of one of those things where you look at the Patrician guys making this cheaper, makes it really good. It's okay. It's one and a white blue for, it's 2 mana. It's a white and a blue for a sorcery. Exile target non-legendary creature, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's not in the system yet. That's unfortunate. If it entered under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. Otherwise, tap it. That's pretty good. And then it's got flashback, which is also really good. I think if you're playing like Bant Spirits in Commander, or you're playing even Azorius Spirits with Raynar, this card's massive. I love Raynar actually with this because you do get to get the permanent Spirit as well, and it's really, really cool. So I think this card will see a lot of play in Azorius Spirits, and will see a lot of play in Standard, and then that's about where I kind of see it kind of falling off. Because it's pretty cool, but it's like, it is dwarfed by some better options. Like, if I had this or Momentary Blink, I would pretty well always pick Momentary Blink. I just can't Runic Repetition every game for Momentary Blink. I have to sometimes get back some other cards. Or at least just have good, somewhat good, redundancy. Sometimes, guys, and this is a big thing you have to understand with the Commander, sometimes a card is not very good compared to your options, but it's another option. Having another piece of redundancy can be really good. It does the same thing a little worse. You have to play around the fact that it's a little worse, but hey, it's another copy of Momentary Blink.
Imagine playing good cards.
Imagine playing good cards, Kino, it says. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I've never heard of it. So,
as if you'd play good cards.
Secondary Commander in the Wilthelm deck. It's Eloise, Nefalia's Sleuth. Not going to lie to you, but sitting on this for a little while. Kind of the reason I knew about the Surveil. I'm not a genius on this stuff. She's definitely not going to be in the system, but it's okay. I'm going to show you guys this one. I reckon the next card's not going to be either because they're both in the Commander sets. And we love the Binopause crew. They do work for us. So it's 3, a blue and a black for a 4/4. It's whenever another creature you control dies, investigate. Very cool. Whenever you sacrifice a token, which clues do, you get to Surveil one. Very cool. Love this guy. I think, by the way, Eloise is going to be seeing a lot of play in decks. I think she's very cool. I think she's good. Just give it a wife material. She's lovely. She looks like she's got a lot going on, and I like that about her. All right. And then we've got, really cool, it's Visions of Dread. Visions of Dread is a really interesting card. Now, we didn't talk about this too much, but this is part of a cycle of cards that scare me. It's part of, is this in the system?
It is.
Oh, that's such a, okay, that's an interesting concept. Anyway, so this is part of a really cool cycle of cards that are unique to set boosters and I think collector's boosters.
Yes.
And they are designed, and I'm going to let Dylan focus this for a second. They are designed with Commander in mind to support the Commander series of decks. And you'll notice that if I grab, keep that focus the way it is. If I grab Eloise and I bring these guys up to here, you'll see it has the exact same symbol as that deck, but it doesn't ever come in the deck. Buy the set boosters, Kino, it says, exactly. Or jump onto singles.wargames.com.au and get one yourself. Buy the singles, people. Consume, he says. Buy the singles, guys. Now, Visions of Dread is really cool. It's 2 and a black. I'm getting, my colors are all over the place. Sorry, guys. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control for only 3 mana. At sorcery speed is okay, but again, it's reanimated instant speed would be insane. And then 2 and a black is really, really efficient. So getting your opponent's card can be kind of dangerous. Separate Core Primordial doesn't always go off. It's one of these things they get to choose. So it feels like one of those, again, one of those care bet kind of cards. But we haven't got to the end yet. It has flashback for 8 black. Now, what's really interesting about the flashback cost is they all cost 8 and then 2 of their color. This spell costs X less to cast this way, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. So,
It's commander you own on the battlefield.
correct. So if your opponent like somehow
So if your
takes
opponent
it-
has bribery or
Yeah.
like control enchantment,
Yep.
control magic, like one of your own creatures.
Yep. So the big thing as well is it says the greatest mana value of a commander. That doesn't sound really relevant because I can only have one commander. Well, in the context of partners, it's your most expensive partner.
Yeah.
You can't put Baron Sengir and like Crown together, and this costs 11 less to cast.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to work that way. So, but it will cost 6 less to cast, which means it's going to be 4 mana, which is still pretty good. And you do it twice, still pretty good. Also, if you play Geist, the Partition Geist, it costs 1 less to cast in the graveyard, so not bad. But yeah, again, this whole cycle is really cool. This one is, in my opinion, one of the lesser powerful ones, but it's still really, really interesting. And we're actually gonna, if we get some more, hopefully we'll be able to get those. So, so that one goes there. It's not in the system. That one's not in the system. Curse of Surveillance was in the system, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. So I think I'm all up to date with the system. Blah, 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 blah. Let's have a look. Yep, they're all in there. Perfect. All right.
I really like the Cleaver Scab
We're actually gonna
from
put
the Commander deck too.
Just put it there so you guys can see it. All right. What's this, sorry?
The Cleaver Scab
Oh.
from the Undead Unleashed deck.
I'm not going to lie to you. The zombies
3
are
in a
insane.
tap, sacrifice another zombie, create 2 tokens that are copies of the sacrificed creature.
It's so crazy, dude. Is that even at sorcery speed or is it even in instant
No,
speed?
no. It's just you tap him.
That's so crazy that it's an instant speed as well. So again, guys, you can find those over on that Mythic spoiler page. You can find it over the commander page of the Mythic spoilers or at the bottom of the Innistrad cards. So I've gone through most of those boosters we had there. So I'm going to be cracking some more. I'm going to actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them like here and I can grab them one at a time like that. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing.
I noticed that one of the cards in the Commander decks are called Ghoul's Night Out.
Gould Night Out. I know.
Piper was loving that one yesterday. She's
Love
like,
it.
I want to build that deck purely just because of that card.
Yep, 100%. I can get right behind that. It's really cool. I love those little like tongue-in-cheek kind of names. They're really cool.
Unfortunately, I let loose my best 2-headed giant team name out of it.
Oh,
And I shouldn't have.
you
I
shouldn't
told
have.
Cassie it. I was going to say ghouls just want to have fun.
That's it.
But, you know.
That's it. I love these homunculus coming back too. Cute little common homunculus. They're really nice. I will say,
that Unblinking Observer,
yeah,
that looks exactly like an Eldritch Moon card.
it does. Yeah, I think it's actually the same guy. It's a guy who transforms into an Eldrazi.
Curious Homunculus.
Yeah.
Tap, add colorless to your mana pool, spend this only to cast instant or sorcery spells.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's my question to you. This card has really, really cool flavor. Because Curious Homunculus, right, is poring over books.
Yeah.
He looks different to this guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's super solid in limited. Yes, Kian. It's going to be super solid in limited. I'm really excited for this card. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I'll tell you what it does quickly. It's a common, but it says, add a blue, spend this mana only to play a disturb cost or cast an instant or sorcery spell. So instant, sorcery, or disturb, it's really, really, really good. Amazingly good. But here's my favorite part about this card. It looks different, okay, to the what's the name again? Curious Homunculus. It's a different guy.
Yeah.
But his flavor text makes me think a lot. So day 77, the homunculus within the crystal continues to mimic my every movement. I wonder what they are writing. Laboratory notes of Yizilpuk. Now, here's the thing about Yizilpuk. He could be onto something. Either he's looking into the crystal and seeing Curious Homunculus writing what he's writing because he's a curious homunculus. Or
I think he's just writing.
he's
what
looking at
writing.
himself, or it's just a reflection through the glass. I think okay. When I read this first time, I assumed it was it might be a reference to how homunculus are grown. It could be, but that's the thing. This is the point I'm making, right? Kian says it could be a reference to how homunculus are grown. It could be a reference to curious homunculus. It could just be a joke. It could just be he's seeing himself through the mirror and he's just copying himself. He is just copying himself. You never know, right? So very, very, very interesting. In the sense that it's cool flavor. Very, very cool flavor. I love this card. So I think that there's some really cool flavor in this set, and that's a good example of really, really exciting flavor that really kind of, sometimes it's important to remember that sets came in blocks, and we got really interesting story, and we don't anymore. So it's nice to see these cards that have these great flavors, so we get at least a little bit of some kind of story. It's not bad at all. So I'm just going to be going through some more cards, flicking through some more stuff. Really, really cool stuff there. So we've not seen much on the, I think it's just him being dumb, Kino, and says, yeah, you never know though. That's my point, right? You don't know. It could just be him being stupid. I don't disagree with that. I think that's part of the joke. I think it's just him looking at himself and writing stuff down. But it could be Curious Homunculus. And if you think it can't be, I think you're wrong. If you think it can't be, and that's the point of the story. It's meant to be like, you're meant to take your own kind of, what's the term I'm looking for? You make your own opinion, you write your own kind of headcanon on it. Like that's why it's not a named character. It's just a random little homunculus dude, because you get to write your own little tale on it, and that's really cool. And he's a really good card. So he's a good card. So you get to see him a lot too, just like Curious Homunculus was, believe it or not. Which could lead me to believe that it is the same card because Curious Homunculus. But who knows? Who knows? It's a wild, wild world out there. So I'm just flicking through a couple more cards. All right, so I'm going to just put these ones right there. So we get kind of a sneak preview of what I'm opening at least. And then that way we can talk about a little bit more after we've gone through all these cards. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So if you're a big fan of the aesthetic of us opening the packs on stream, let us know. If you want to see more of me opening packs on the camera, or if you like just to see the cards at the end of it. If you want more of this, I could do more of this if you would like, guys. It's totally up to you. Let me know in the chat what you would prefer, guys, because I want to have the random question: were there any tokens that came in the pre-release packs? Yes.
Yes.
So
go ahead. The promo, like foil wrap thing. The plastic wrapped promo pack.
I'm proud of you.
Got there. It has your pre-release promo in it. It also has it has a day-night emblem token, double-sided, and it also has three check cards in it, so that you can still play without sleeves if you need to.
Exactly.
But the day-night was not foil.
No. But neither were the other three, were they?
No.
No. So they're not foil this time, which
Foil checklist cards? My God.
Why not?
What world do we live in?
Well, it'd be hard to write on them for sure. It'd be hard to write on them because they're foil. Like, I can't argue with that.
I wish it was a foil day-night cycle, but no, it's just a regular one. Let me check. Where's mine?
I'm absolutely certain it's not. Also, I'll show you a good example, guys, of those little tokens that give you the double face. So, like a foil day cycle. I'm a big fan of aesthetics. Thanks, Kian. You're absolutely right. I wish it was a foil, but I'm pretty certain it's not. This is where it turns out we're both actually stupid. Big stupid head. But yeah, I'm not kidding, guys. I really want you guys to let us know some feedback about the stream. What would you like to see more? What would you like to see less? If you guys want to talk about this, we talk about the sub goals as being quite generic. Like we kind of do stuff for the store over, like for the stream overall. But if you guys would like to start setting up a sub goal for maybe us opening Dragons of Tarkia, maybe we open the very first Theros, maybe we open, that kind of stuff. If you want to support us doing that kind of stuff, we want to make that content for you. So let us know. We would love to set something up. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And if we're going through older packs and such, I'm definitely going to take the slow route. Definitely going to take that slow route. So again, really, really cool stuff already. Oh, love that card so much. Love that card so much. Oh. There's a card in this set for Feather. There's one, ABU or Bust. We can just do AFR if you like. Do nothing but AFR for the rest of our lives. Now, continuing to look.
So that was what was in my pre-release kit.
Let me get this.
Foil pack.
You get to get it going. So I'll show you these first.
It's just a regular day-night token.
Nothing special, unfortunately.
And then
the four
different artworks of the.
Yeah, I saw Piper only had 3 of these, which is weird.
It might have been 3.
But here's my thing as well, is also like, I'm pretty sure that if you, is it that one or is it this one? There's some of these that if you put them together, they actually create like a full image. I kid you not. Their backgrounds actually line up. I was doing this at home. I don't know if this one does. I don't think it does. But some of these backgrounds all line up. Because right now you can actually see, it's hard to see on the stream, but right behind this white is actually a kind of a hayfield. There's a bunch of different hay bales and a bunch of pumpkins. Very Halloween themed. So those cardboard
put
are
that left and right one together instead.
That left and right
Remove the
one
center
together?
one.
It's still not, that doesn't line up perfectly either, but I promise you guys, if you guys get some of these, try and line them up. Try and line them up because they actually do. I think you get
3, sorry, not 4. I just had the extras.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think because Piper got 3, and then you get 1 of these. And then,
you get your pre-release
promo. Now let's get that going.
Yeah, that was my pre-release promo.
Let's get a TD in the chat, guys. Thanks, Dylan, for focusing on the guy. And also, let's not say that with like disdain because this guy's based. Now this man is rather based. Can't wait to cast Frantic Search into Frantic Search. You absolutely will cast Frantic Search into Frantic Search. This is a card. This is a commander that loves Partitiongeist. Oops, sorry. Loves Partitiongeist. This guy's name is Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. It's 5 mana. Its spells can't be countered. Not yours, not mine. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. Flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. Very good, very good, very good. I think this card is awesome, great commander, and yeah, you know, the best part about this card obviously is it reads spells can't be countered, so all your counter spells in the graveyard you can't really counter with. So Narset's Reversal, and there's Time Stop, 6 mana counter spell, doesn't really counter spell. Venser, Shaper Savant, there's lots of ways of countering spells, guys, so you can work it out. Casting Narset's Reversal in the graveyard is pretty cool. I like blue hate in blue. Well, I don't necessarily think this is blue hate in the sense that it's not about. I think in standard definitely there's a logic where it's like, oh, I just want to stop you from countering me. But more accurately, this is just stopping me from countering you. That's more, the spells can't be countered, I think, in this context. On a commander is more of a condition, less of an effect. Summary Dismissal. See, exile all spells on the stack. That's a great example. There's a couple of other cards that exile spells on the stack as well. So, I mean, ending the turn, just exile spells on the stack. So we'll get that focus fixed up in just a second. So there's lots of options, lots and lots of options. So. Yeah, dismissal, sorry, I didn't understand that one. Yeah, those ones are yours there. Sorry, Leah's over here. I might actually play Leah myself soon. I've been playing a lot of, what's her name? Min, the Wily Illusionist. Oh.
I don't want it.
What a man, thank you. This is what friendship is all about, guys. I just earned myself a data foil Leah. How awesome is that?
I actually cut him from my deck yesterday. He wasn't worth playing in sealed.
No. In the limited, he's too much work.
At 5 mana, he's too much.
The island art. The island art. I know it's literally too good for words. If we get a signed like land art, I don't know if I'll be able to control myself, people. Just want to warn you there. The microphone may peak, people. Just gonna warn you there. If we do get a stamped version. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm gonna hide her under a land so people on the stream don't get a sneak peek. All right.
Alrighty then.
One last booster, and this is the last booster of this box here, not both boxes yet.
Oh my god.
I know. We're still burning through it. So this is the last booster of this box. So let's see what's inside. I'm gonna open this one straight up on the camera in front of everyone. Oh, look at that. You know what? Every time I do that, by the way, guys, do you ever, like that little like thing on the side of your nail, that little like piece of skin there that people like peel back? That's what this reminds me of, by the way.
Yeah,
now
it definitely peels open your entire skin as well.
Exactly. And that's how you're gonna see this from now on. So maybe you do that. Just think about how that happens on your thumb. Think about that. Yeah. Anyway, so they're like, God, no. It's like reversed ASMR. It's like, how do I trigger your senses as opposed to, oh, that's really cool. So now we've got the other side of Tovalar. He's not signed. I wish he were. Why have you done this, spooky set? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Every time you see me crack a booster like that, imagine, I know. Tovalar, double Tovalar. Very cool. I love him. All right. So, got some really cool lands, more lands. By the way, guys, I'm going to quickly show you up this box, but I'm going to show you right now, actually. But you will be able to get, in your set booster boxes, every gosh darn booster you open will have one of these absolutely phenomenal lands in it. So get your hands on some set booster boxes, because if you're not even getting into it for just this, what are you getting into it for? Like, really, guys, come on.
Definitely going to replace my enchantment lands.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, yes and no. Depends. I have some decks that need them.
I like my Pokemon enchantment lands.
I like my Pokemon energy.
Yeah, Pokemon energy lands.
Yeah. How else maybe Hyper Beam, bro?
I'm going to attach this to my Tolvalar.
You gotta-
so that he can use Scratch.
Oh no, it's colorless. Damn it. Well, yeah, no, yeah, you do unstable obelisk,
Yeah.
right? And then you pay 7 blue to destroy target permanent, and you're like, hydro pump, go, go, ice beam. All right, guys. Yeah, I want Pokemon energy. You know what Pokemon energy is? It's a type of energy, and it's Pokemon. That's the real Pokemon energy right there. That's got some massive Pokemon energy.
Okay.
All right. So it's Vadrick. He's non-foil this time. Astral Archmage. He's cool. Love this guy. I'm not gonna go over him again, guys.
He's not on the system.
He's
so.
still, to this very day, he is still not in the system.
To this very day.
To this very day. I am blind. No, perfect. That's all them. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna go there right now because I know it's not in the system, but we did get a second Lord of the Forsaken.
So
very,
many mythics.
very. This is actually an
We got a lot of
insane
mythics.
opening. We're doing really well with this so far. We're doing really well. He's not gonna be a part of your system. Man, my dad's not a phone. All right, so I've got Deserted. That's a classic for those out there. Deserted Beach. Again, it's another one of those, like, we're going to call it Waltz Lands. Another Waltz Land. Very cool. That's in the system? Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, we've got Geist Flame Reservoir. Now, it's actually a really interesting card. I think this card is, like, really kind of slept on. 2 red for whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, put a charge counter on it. 1 red, tap, remove any number of charge counters that deals that much damage to any target. Or 1 in a tap, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. It's a very big Prosper card. If you're playing Prosper, it's going to be really big in your deck. If not, I like the idea that a a Strixhaven focused Izzet spell-slinging deck can put this down turn 2, turn 3, whenever they need to put it down, maybe even 4. Over the course of the game, they're getting charge counter. You're forced to find removal for it. Now, I will say there is a new werewolf that is a disenchant on a stick, so it's not going to be the most absolutely impactful thing because you may get countered by werewolves, but I still think this card has a lot of value. It's a lot of merit. It forces your opponent to find a solution for it very quickly in Standard, especially in the limited environment, where you can kind of throw out a bunch of those, like, Surveil draw cards. You know what I mean? So a bunch of those, what's that card again called? It's the new one. The one you were complaining about that didn't have Surveil.
Consider.
Consider. So you can play cards like Cathar Commando Gang, absolutely, awu. So it's like those kind of cards consider with this out can be really, really impactful. And then again, worst case scenario, you know what the best thing about this card is? I just realized the exile the top card of your library does not remove the charge counters. So even if you're just playing this card out and just looking at some extra draws, it's very, very powerful.
So it does, like, the clear use of this card is to be a game ender.
Yes.
That does
It's a
some
control
stuff.
icon.
Yeah. That does some stuff during the game, and then now that you've got it set up, you just go bam.
Exactly. It's a control finisher where basically you can find ways to draw extra cards. It's kind of Red Deck Wins design, but it's really like, again, it's just like a setup. It reminds me a bit of like late game kind of burst. It does. I don't know what decks this fits into immediately, but it is a really cool card. So definitely get your hands on one.
I wouldn't mind seeing sort of a Jeskai control rather than the standard blue-white control.
Yep, Jeskai control would be really cool. Or even just like in this current format, even just the blue-red control. Even just blue-red spell slingers, like just spell slingers. Especially considering all the casting and copying you can do, it's really, really cool. Especially with like Vadrick being released as well. Just having like a kind of Vadrick-focused Borali kind of deck kind of reminds me
And
of
you can
Ether
also
Evolved standard.
You can definitely also keep Knight at bay, if you will, by running those Spellslinger style decks.
Oh, dude, that's actually really powerful too. The big thing hang on.
Because Knight is casting too.
Okay, here's a big thing. Let's forget, we've got one thing. Any target. This removes 3 charge counters until it kills Tolvar on his trigger.
Yeah.
Kills Tolvar. Like, get rid of that thing. I don't want that. And then you just build back up those charge counters because it doesn't sacrifice itself. Actually, this card is based, people. Get your hands on one. This card's really cool. Love Geist Flamer as well. That's actually really useful. So
That's definitely going to see play in some Izzet decks for Commander.
I like it. Oh, yeah. I even see Izzet Artifacts decks getting away with it too, just because they are generally playing those Fabricate, they are playing counter spells, they are playing those cards. Sometimes they do want to exile at the top to get some new cards.
Yeah, I think I'm like, in terms of, in my experience of Saheeli, I think I'm too deep in artifacts and not instant sorcery spell slinging.
In your build, definitely not. I
But
think there are
in
builds
something
for it.
like, even in like, was it Niv-Mizzet? Not Niv-Mizzet, Nizman.
Are you thinking of Galazeth Prismaric?
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the experienced commander,
Mizzix.
red blue, Mizzix.
Of the Magus. Yeah.
Mizzix of the
Mizzix of the
Magus.
Magus. Yeah. So, Mizzix would love this card too. I think, any kind of
And those, is it copy Stormy decks?
Yeah, is it copy Stormy decks. I also like this, again, you could go into that proliferate area where you get Actually, because it's literally charge counters, there is an entire charge counter dynamic that you could go into as well. And then you play a bunch of those instant sorceries that proliferate. And you can go into a pretty heavy proliferate red-blue deck, and you bring as the commander Will and Rowan Kenrith from Battle Bond.
There's also the Temur copy spells.
Yeah, the Temur copy spells. Yeah,
copy.
absolutely.
You may cast that copy.
Cast that copy. It's really good.
Rather than
really,
just
really
copying a spell that's.
You just have you have a God Eternal Kefnet. Every turn you're casting an additional copy of a spell you draw.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to mention as well the Exile. If you're playing 7, people forget about 7, which was the flashback commander.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of support from this set. He actually plays cards like Return from Eternity, I think it's called, or like it's a 1-mana white spell that returns a exiled card to your hand. That can actually return
Pull
cards.
from Eternity. Yeah.
Pull from Eternity, thank you. You can actually use that because that's a big combo piece in this deck with that and Runic Repetition and Mystic Retrieval. You can actually get back the exiled cards from this. So a lot of cool interactions in Commander. We're going on. This is a bulk rare, by the way, guys, and we are going on about it for ages. We're going to move on, but it's very, very cool. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, thanks, Kian. Mizzix, yeah.
Yeah, Mizzix, yeah. Thanks, Kian. Always say thank you so much in the chat, guys. Anyone who's in the chat right now chatting with us, we thank you so much. We're trying to interact as best we can. We do want to get through some cards, though, unfortunately, so we are missing some things. But thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you. Sigarda's Splendor. 2 and 2 white for an enchantment. We're talking about, actually, Kian Edwards, speaking of him, we were talking about this today. As it enters the battlefield, note your life total. Which is interesting. I don't like cards that make you note things down, but hey, who cares? Note your life total. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life total for Sigarda's Splendor. Then note your life total. Whenever you cast a white spell, you gain a life. I like the card that says 4 mana whenever you cast a white spell, gain a life. I like that effect. I think this pad is really cool where it's kind of like a Phyrexian Arena as well. If you can, is this Phyrexian? Yeah, it's like a Phyrexian Arena if you can get it off. It's kind of like it's very white in the sense that it wants you to gain life so that you can Phyrexian Arena as opposed to lose life to draw a card. It's if you gain life, you can draw a card. So I really like this.
It's Phyrexian Arena that plays into the strategy that already exists for white.
Exactly.
As opposed to Phyrexian Arena being a conduit for strategy in mono black.
Exactly. It's not even like a conduit for strategy. It's a conduit for playing the game.
Yeah.
Black. It's just a conduit.
Because you don't have a card draw in black, really.
Exactly.
So.
And, well, you don't have, like, persistent card draw. Not permanent cards that generate advantage like that. You have cards like Phyrexian Rager, and you have cards like Sign in Blood, and cards like all those. But, again, it really comes down to all goods? Yep.
Yeah.
It really does come down to what you can do with white. We now have Croaking Counterpart. Greed. Yeah, that's a good example, too. So,
Sigarda wasn't in the...
It wasn't. My apologies. So, that's a good point, Kino, it says there. Necropotence and Greed. There's some other cool permanent draw spells. Necropotence is not exactly like draw. That's a bit silly, but it's card advantage for sure. Black has a lot of card advantage between searching and drawing. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about, not necessarily about Phyrexian Arena, but about Sigarda's Splendor being this. Again, it's a conduit for a strategy in white, whereas Phyrexian Arena is a conduit for playing the color black.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I love that art via the frog. Thank you, Spooky the Ghost Catcher. At the end of the day as well, it doesn't cost you like these cards all cost you. Greed costs you 2 life in activation and a black mana, and costs 4 to play down first. There's a reason it was downshifted to uncommon, people. There's a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's comparable to Phyrexian Arena. Now, Croaking Counterpart is a bit of a meme on Cackling Counterpart, which was a card released in the first Innistrad block. And it was flashback, instant speed, make a token of target creature. And Cackling Counterpart's really, really good. I think it's 3 mana with a flashback of 5 or 7.
7 all up, 5 and 2 blue.
So it's create a token that's a copy of target creature controller instant speed. This is at sorcery speed because frogs, they're slow, they chill out. 1 green blue for whenever you create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's 1/1 green frog. And it's got flashback for 5. So because
Sorry, I just saw the flavor text.
frog is the sincerest form of flattery. Okay, Dylan.
Broke me.
So it costs less to do on the flashback. That's good. It shouldn't be 7 anyway. It's a sorcery, so it's good. It makes a 1/1 green frog as opposed to and it can't copy frog creatures. But it's interesting. It's fun. I like it. You should play it. Riku loves this card. It copies the spell, then it copies the permanent it creates. So really good. Oh, he does copy.
Just make a frog version of Tovola.
Yeah, a frog Tovola. Yes. I like that it says, except it's a 1/1 green frog. So Tovola does lose the human werewolf keywords. He's no longer.
He can never transform.
He can never transform.
Well, he has Daybound.
Well, of course, he just transforms anyway. There you go. But he's not transforming himself in your upkeep, so he can stay as a human if you want him to. Anyway, so Krogan Counterpart, really cool. That card is in our system, obviously, correct? He's a frog. He's a forg. He a forg. What crimes will he commit? Frog in the bog. Frog in the bog. What crimes will he commit? All right.
Have you seen there's a card that is a frog, a toad, like looking at the bog, and then on the reflection is Gitrog monster?
I like it. There's some cool stuff. If we get to that card, I'll talk about some cool lore about it because people don't know whether that card is a sequel or a prequel. It's interesting. So, another copy of Rockfall Vale. Very good card. Again, Waltz lands, really useful. We've got a card that I don't like, but we're going to talk about it. It's a mythic rare. It's awesome. It's called Enduring Angel.
Oh, this one.
It's 2 and 3 white. For a flying double strike, you have Hexproof card. At the end of the day, this is 6 power, 3 toughness. It's a flying double strike with you have Hexproof. That part is already fairly efficient. It's in 3 white, so in Nykthos, in Mono White Angels, it generates a lot of mana, helps you generate that with your Nyx Lotus as well. And lastly, it's only 2 colorless, so you only need an Urza's Incubator to make this its minimum cost. If your life total would be reduced to 0, or you may have noticed a little day symbol, we'll get there. If your life total would be reduced to 0 or less, instead, transform Enduring Angel. Stop spinning over the card, Trent. Instead, transform Enduring Angel, and your life total becomes, and your life total becomes 3. Then if Enduring Angel didn't transform this way, you lose the game. Now I'm going to jump in and quickly mention that the reason that is because if you clone Enduring Angel, a friend of mine let me know, if you clone Enduring Angel and then Enduring Angel does not transform because it was a clone, you still lose. So you can't make a bunch of clones of this and just keep it alive and never die. Its flip side, however, is very powerful. It is a XX, well, it's a variable power toughness. Flying, you have hexproof. No longer does it have double strike, but its power and toughness are each equal to your life total. And whenever it attacks, double your life total. So there is a logic where you could use Maskwood Nexus to make this a human. It needs to be human and a werewolf. So how do we get it to there?
Maskwood Nexus is a human werewolf.
Oh,
everything has shapeshifter.
Every creature type. That's right, absolutely. My apologies. So yeah, it's a werewolf. So you could Tovola this in a Naya deck or in standard, and then it flips.
In standard, you have what is the circle? Was it the circle? The teleportation circle.
Yeah.
You have this in standard. You have a I can't die in standard.
Basically, right? That could be interesting.
Because at the end of your turn, after that's flipped.
So Kian Edwards is saying you would die because it didn't transform off its trigger. I don't think that's true because it says then if it didn't transform this way, you lose the game. It does not say if it didn't transform this way. That has to be after this trigger. I don't think that's true. It has to be, see, there you go, Kian. So it has to be after this trigger that you do that or you lose. So you can Tovola this, and Kaldheim is in standard. You could Naya, Tovola, Enduring Angel. It's a lot of mana and a lot of work to get to this, so don't do it. But you could. Or you could play Vidalcan Orrery, and your opponent attempts to... I mean, they're probably going to Thoracle you, but let's not talk about Thoracle too much. If they are going to attack you for game, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to choose to not block, and I'm going to flash out this card in response. And I like the Flash Angel sub-theme. I like Lyra Flash Angels. It's actually not a terrible archetype, especially with cards like Cloudstone Curio and Angel of the Dire Hour, which is the one that says it flashes and it exiles all attacking creatures your opponent controls. So it's a cool little strategy there, but again, this card is working too hard to do what's essentially very little payoff. And the fact that it does bring you down to 3, it's a 6/6. It's a 3, it's a 3/3. If it attacks, then you get a 6/6. So it's like, I don't want this card to flip and then my opponent lightning bolts my face and it's over. So I don't know what you're going to do with this, but maybe if your opponent lightning bolts this, you respond by playing Moon Mist, and your Maskwood Nexus made this a human, so it flips on Moon Mist back to this side, and then you go back to 3, and then it flips again, and I'm going to put this card over here. It's in the system though, right?
Yes.
Very cool card, guys. If you can make it work, I really respect that.
Conjurer's Closet, Brago.
Oh, any of those cards that flicker it too.
Deadeye Navigator.
And my brand new one, Circle of...
The teleportation circle I was talking about.
Yep.
At the end of your turn, flicker something, basically.
Yep. You have hexproof, which is very relevant. You can't be bolted. That's relevant. Sorry, that is relevant. You can't be bolted. But you can be earthquaked. Yeah, you can't be bolted, but you can be earthquaked. You know, there's lots of ways for them to get to 3. You can be attacked by a 3/1 flash common white creature in the set. There's lots of ways for them to kill you, so I don't know. Anyway, we've got the Celestus. which is such a cool art as well. What a cool artifact. This is the kind of card that makes me think of like, when I think of this, when I think of cards like the Biblioplex being a land, I think these cards would like a field spell concept, like a location concept would not be terrible for Magic the Gathering. Even like Chromatic Ori is a bit of a location. So I like these kind of big, even Bolas' Citadel is a bit of a location. So these kind of cards, I would really like to see a new card type for them that maybe has a cool interaction there. Where I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's like the old legendary rule where if you have a location, your opponent can't play a location kind of deal, right? Well, as in like if they play a location, it kills your location. So there can only be one location up at a time, like an old Yu-Gi-Oh field spell as well. The reason those cards have become you can have one of each is for reasons that are important. But again, I think there's an option. The Celestis only costs 3 mana for a legendary artifact. It says if it's neither day nor night, it becomes day when it enters the battlefield, so it gets the day bound going. Tap for a mana of any color. And then pay 3 and tap. If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night. Activate only as a sorcery. And whenever night becomes day or day becomes night, you gain a life. You have to gain a life, and then you may draw a card. And if you do, discard a card. This card's really good. This card's really good. If you're playing werewolves, you're playing Tovolar, you're playing Nightbound, Daybound, you resolve him on turn 3, resolve this on turn 4, even resolve this on turn 3, resolve him on turn 4, open Soul Ring, resolve this on turn 2, resolve him on turn 3, that kind of stuff. So you get some really cool stuff going on. I think Celestis is awesome. So get it going if you're playing Transform decks. We have my personal favorite card in the whole set. It's Angel Fire Ignition. It's a little bit of a sleeper card, but Feather players are very excited for this thing. So it's a red and a white. I can imagine, not in the system, that's okay. But I can imagine someone like Damien is frothing over this card. Listen to this. 1 red white for a sorcery. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. It gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. It gives Lifelink to a certain pair of Minotaurs that maybe deal 3 damage every time you cast a certain color of spell. Very neat. And it has Flashback for only 4. It's so good. This card is so amazing. I'm a huge fan of Angel Fire Ignition. Get it going. Next, we've got another unique set booster, non-commander card. Won't be in the system, but you can check. Curse of Obsession. Oh, that's right. Actually, we checked before. There was one. The other one was in there. So this might be in there. 4 and a red for an Aura Curse. It's another curse. Believe it or not, guys, Curse of Obsession is a curse.
It is in there. It's $18.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Enchant Player. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's draw step.
Where's an empty wrapper?
An empty wrapper. I've got one right here.
Thank you. It just tells me on the back what the cards are.
Perfect.
What number is that? 30.
This is 35.
Okay, so it is one of the exclusive cards.
It is, yes. No, yeah, sorry, I didn't know that one. Sorry, my apologies. I didn't know it was one of the exclusive ones. But this is awesome. So it's 4 and a red. I mean, key enablers, I would talk about this card. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's draw step, that player draws 2 additional cards. And at the beginning of Enchanted Player's end step, that player discards their hand. You could play this into somebody and make them only play a certain amount of cards a turn and basically force them to only have 3 cards a turn. You could play this in a Izzet deck and then Narset them. They only get to draw 1 card and then discard their hand every turn. Or you could play Riel the Everwise and put this on yourself. And every turn you double your hand size. Well, you're getting a lot of hand size. Essentially just drawing 2 cards extra a turn in a deck that cares about drawing. This card is awesome. Get your hands on it. Lastly, it's a phenomenally looking card. I think this card is absolutely beautiful. All these cards are, but it's one of my favorite. It's Lisa, the Forgotten Archangel. She is 2 white, black. Lisa was introduced in Commander Legends, but she has been in the Innistrad story for a long time. She was the 3rd sister of Gisela and Bruna, and I think maybe even Sigarda was one of their sisters as well, but I don't know that. So she was? There you go. So it was those. But Arvisan wasn't their sister. She was created by Sorin. And she helped create the other archangels, like these ones. So, we have 2 white, black for a flying lifelink 4/5 angel. I think that's the same stat line and cost as a Commander Legends version. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So it's an Athreos, but it's mandatory. Your opponent can't just pay 3 life to stop you. And my favorite part is that it's only 2 mana more, so it's not much more expensive. And then if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead.
Creature Line of the Void.
Lee Line of the Void, Creature Line of the Void, Lee Line of the Creature, whatever you want to call it. Angel Void, Void Angel. This card's busto. I don't know if you're versing a Marin deck and you're really playing this version of Lisa against them because it can be a little bit toxic, But Anafenza, yeah, it's another Anafenza, so very, very good. With Angel Fenza. Angel Fenza? Is that gross? Should we not say Angel Fenza? That doesn't sound very nice. It's not. Annalisa! Annalisa! Oh, that's it. It's Annalisa. So I'm down. This card's really cool. By the way, guys, how can you go past this beautiful artwork? It's so serene. It's so serene. Just love it. Everything about it. You can see kind of part of her behind the text as well. It's just phenomenal. Now, I'm pretty sure that Anafenza, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Anafenza says anywhere. It's not just die.
Into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere.
Yeah, so it's also for mill and stuff. So Anafenza's a bit better for that. And it's also 3-color.
But when you're talking about redundancy, like you were before,
it goes straight into
Anafenza.
Anafenza.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right, Kian. It's great redundancy as well. And the Anafenza deck is already kind of focusing on that, so this is really good as well. I would say if you're playing Lisa, maybe make it a bit of a kill spell Killian deck and focus on just removing your opponent's bigger threats. So,
swap?
Yeah, we'll swap. That was the very first box. Dylan is going to take care of the second one for you. He's going to be the big talky man, and he's also going to burn through them faster than I ever could. So, let me just pop this one out. I assume we're swapping cables?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm pulling your cable through.
What a man, what a man.
They heard that one. All right. Now it is I, Dylan, behind.
We aren't safe. If you would like to see more Dylan behind the counter, subscribe to the stream. My ears. Kian Edward says, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize.
It might have clicked it might have popped as we put them in.
Oh, sorry, Kian. My apologies, guys. My apologies, guys. We'll keep an eye on that next time and make sure we're more vocal about it. Just swap seats there.
Bam. All right.
Let's see it. So we got, again, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. We love this set. It's freaking awesome. I'm a huge fan. I love all these new cards. They're all so cool.
All right. A Brutal Cathar. As the art. It's fine. It's just the art.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's have a look here. Got.
You just grab me both those drinks then.
Your blue V
And
your
water.
life-sustaining water.
Exactly. My blue V there, which is my life-sustaining thing, and then my chaser of water.
All right, so we've got a Visions of Dominance.
Foggy. Oh, there's the card you were
There's
talking
the
about.
card. Gitrog. Babby Gitrog.
So people are saying that because this card has flashback, it's meant to be a memory of him before he turned into the Gitrog monster, and that's him like kind of looking forward into his future, like, I'm going to be this big man, look at me, I'm going to get big and strong. But some people are saying that the Gitrog monster got its powers because of the influence Emrakul had on the plane. And this is a baby Gitrog looking back on his majesty because he no longer is powerful because Emrakul's in the moon. So it's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit back.
That would explain why there's no Gitrog monster in the set.
Exactly.
Are you seriously
see?
telling me they went back to Innistrad and did not put Gitrog in? Like, it's happening. So
Well, we'll see. If Crimson Vow does not have Gitrog, that's where he is now. He's a little boy. He's a cute little boy. So let me get that
So
in.
that's Visions of Dominance.
It's a cool card. That's a very good card too.
All right. And then we've got Kyla, Sigardian Emissary from the counters deck.
That's
From the Coven counters.
Give me 1 second. Just updating that now. Huh. It's weird that the normal Visions of Dominance is far more expensive than the extended art.
Well, it's because there's none. Well,
So I think maybe there's no non-extended in the collector's editions. I think they're exclusively extended.
yeah, that
So that could
kind of makes
explain
sense.
why it's so valuable. Wow, that's a great fog right there. Yep, Visions of Dominus, what a great fog.
It also is like a really good card.
He's so cool.
3 mana, put a 1/1 counter on something, then double the counters.
It's so good, especially in like a Gargos deck.
Or in the counters deck.
Yeah.
Kyla, Sigardian Emissary, speaking of which. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on him. Other humans you control get +1/+1 for each counter on Kyla. It's Reese.
No, he's not in the system.
He's
But
on the
cool.
system?
He's on the system.
Was
but he
it
very
Reese?
cool.
No, it's not Reese. It's the multi-kicker elf.
That
Remember the multi-kicker elf?
Remember the multi-kicker elf? Yeah. He's very good, though. I'm seeing some stuff I like for my Witchmore deck. Well, if you see some stuff you like, guys, don't forget, I'm going to throw that singles. I'm going to throw the collections we have there that are for our Innistrad there, too. And I'm going to put that, I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. So right there. So that's our collectors, the Midnight in stock.
And there is Siphon Insight in there as well.
Siphon Insight as well.
So, Demir, look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, exile one of them face down and put the other on the bottom of the library. You may look at and play the exiled card for as long as it remains exiled. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell.
And that's not extended?
That's not extended.
Therefore, it's not in the system.
Is it really?
Yeah, only the extended's in the system.
Okay.
I love these guys. All right.
Siphon Insight is
really cool.
Is Gonti.
Oh, hang on. Let me just bring this up.
It's half a Gonti.
Which one is this? It's that one. There you go. Just for you.
So it's half a Gonti.
Yeah, it really is. So I like the idea that it also just like you get to, well, it's not just like look at it and play it. It's also just mill them 2 cards essentially, right?
Yeah.
Because you bottom the other one as well. So you're also just able to kind of mill people at instant speed. I like the idea of, whoa, thank you, Theoretical
Winds just resubbed.
1.5 years, madness, 18 months.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you've been supporting us straight from the start, apparently. Thank you so much again.
That's where the 83 came from.
Oh, there it is. Nice. Well, again, thank you so much for that Theoretical Wins. You are awesome. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, so if anyone's missed it already, we have a sub goal of 100 subs.
Yes.
And we're going to design, we're going to build and then play a Disney Pixar Cars RPG one-shot.
Yes, Disney Pixar's Cars. It's an RPG. It's a one-shot. Let's go. Get keen, people. So, sorry, Dylan, did you get a card before Siphon Insight? Was there a card before that after Visions of Dominance? It was Kyler. He's not in the system. So just making sure. Wonderful.
I like some of the story behind these werewolves too. They look really bad.
Oh, Spooky the Ghost Catcher. That forest was sexy. I'm telling you, man. If you want to have a look at those, Spooky, we can actually show you some more of those lands soon. We can get out all the lands, spray them back out. Look how wonderful that looks. You were saying, sorry, Dylan?
The Tavern Ruffian, just a werewolf that destroys stuff.
It's so
And then the Bird Admirer, which is like, oh, look, I like birds. And then I eat them.
Yep, the Wing Shredder. And it's like, that design's kind of a little bit silly to me. Which is like, oh, I have to collect birds. But then every night I turn to wealth and I eat the birds. So I have to go collect more birds. It's like, what?
Cool.
What's wrong with you, man?
Well, we have a Fateful Absence.
I love this card.
Sensing a plot, Soren raced to his grandfather's resting crypt. But someone else had gotten there first.
That's not the system, unfortunately. But it's very cool.
And then we've got a Curse of Shaken Faith in the foil.
Oh, and in the foil. Nice, nice, nice. Very cool. Love that card. Again, give it Infect. Go off.
If I stop subbing, can I stop this casting? No, it's going to happen.
I will say that if you can sub to the 200 sub goal, you can stop the cards thing. Bird Admirer.
Because we'll be forced to do whatever the 200 sub goal is, which we haven't even thought of yet.
We haven't even thought of that yet. So if you can get to us to 200 subs in this stream, we will immediately cease and desist the Cars one shot, just so you're clear. But you must reach 200 subs today. Unfortunately, if you do not, it will be Cars time.
Let's have a look through here.
Reaching, because it has reach, Kian. Ha ha ha. Still having a quick look through these cards.
Oh, Gisa. Gisa, Glorious Resurrector.
Beautiful card. That's just in the normal Neiman?
Yes.
No foil. Beautiful. Card's really good too. Tell us what it does.
If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead.
Another one.
And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put all creatures cards exiled with Gisa, Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed, which is that mechanic of they can't block, and if they attack, they then get sacrificed.
Honestly, who cares? That card is insane. That is so good.
It really just ties into the ghouls just want to have fun.
Yeah, it's
she's having the time of her life.
Yeah, Gisa, I will say Gisa has always brought like a really big smile to the Innistrad kind of theme, and she's always having like a great time. She's always in like high spirits, even though she's always surrounded by these awful zombies. It's very cool. She's a cool character.
And then we have a Slaughter Specialist.
Slaughter.
In the foil, a vampire warrior that when it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Slaughter Specialist.
Not in the system, unfortunately, but very, very, very cool.
It's got a very berserker
What's the chance that Commander Innistrad cards might find their way to the site? It's a fairly good chance. Some of the Commander cards
already have.
Yeah, I think so far we haven't missed one. I think they've all made their way to the site. I will say they've kind of prioritized that. If you jump into that, you can find the link a little bit further up the chat.
There's another one of those mountains.
Oh, We're always at a full deck. So there's a little. You can see I've got the collections up there for Midnight Hunt. It's our Silver Price Ascending. You got to find those cards in there. Ooh, the Foil Island. I'm gonna actually put that one aside. I'll pick out that one myself. That was for Piperinos. The Siren Song will love that.
Here, this is what I was talking about when it came to the like day, night, night, day. I had the Brimstone Vandal yesterday in the staff pre-release.
Right,
whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Really good.
So now, as long as you keep, like, if you're playing werewolves, which is already like a green-red deck as well, red has a lot of stuff, and red-blue, sorry, has a lot of stuff that punishes, that gives you benefit for day turning to night and night to day. So you also can turn it into a bit of a punishment for your opponent for trying to pull you out of night.
Yeah,
so they force you to stay.
Oh, here he is. Speaking of staying in night.
A woo.
So he is quite a good card. Yeah, chuck him in the sleeve.
Showcase
Let's use the other side.
Oh, he angry.
That is so cool.
Who's a good boy?
Ian Edwards in the chat. Ooh. Theoretical wins. Exciting. Everyone's excited. Aroo! Theoretical win says, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Always love Tovolar. What a cool design. What a cool
I love this Hippogriff, by the way. The Gale Drifter, and then into
the Whale Drifter. It's so cool.
I really feel like it should be Hippogriff Horror.
Yeah, it's all right, though. You got to make him a spirit because it got disturbed.
We have a Rite of Harmony.
So whenever a creature or enchantment ends battle under your control this turn, draw a card. Whoa!
And it has flashback.
And this is, okay, can I say, this is one of those cards for me that kind of remind me of this investigate Lonus idea. This is like a Sithis card.
Yeah.
So Sithis it's no Mold Drifter. That's right, Ken Edwards. It's no Mold Drifter. So you've got this card that's going straight into Sithis, and Sithis kind of like just dropped. So it's interesting.
Rite of Harmony's in there, yeah?
Yeah, he is. I'm putting it in now, sorry. It is in there. So it's one of these cards that to me is like, I really want to play with cards like Sterling Grove, and I really want to play with cards like Eladamri's Call. This set is so up my alley. I'm thinking about permanently staying here. Well, you're always welcome here, my friend. You are always welcome here on the Vault Games Innistrad Midnight Hunt Crackerbox stream.
There's a lovely Liera art card again.
Oh, this art is so wonderful. That forest comes back, raises an ugly head. Ooh. Love it, love it. Sithis does kind of build herself, to be fair. Well, my point isn't necessarily that the card is auto-included in the deck. It's just a card that's just been printed that auto-includes itself in the deck.
Graveyard Trespasser. This is low-key an awesome card.
Well, it's high-key an awesome card. It's low-key a busted card. What does it even do?
So it has Ward, discard a card, and whenever it enters the battlefield or attack, exile up to one target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life.
And it's a 3-mana 3/3.
And then when you flip it over, it has Ward, discard a card still, and now it's exile up to two creature cards. So when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 2 target creature cards. For each creature card exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
That's so
This
good.
is any graveyard, by the way. So it can be your own, it can be your opponent's. If you're playing Two-Headed Giant, this card is insane. If you are playing Two-Headed Giant and you pull one of these, you play Jund Werewolves.
Or
you don't even think about it.
You also just play Rakdos Day Knight, you play Jund Werewolves, you even go into like Golgari Werewolves if you have the option as well, because your teammate, may need those green or red cards. Going 3 color in a Two-Headed Giant can be dangerous. But I will say that, yeah, you could definitely get away with it. And even if you are going to the 2 color, it's still going to show up, because again, it just needs to keep getting in. Even in I can even see it in like a Demir self-mill deck where you're just basically playing again, I love that card.
Actually, even if your opponent, your teammate is playing red-green werewolves,
exactly,
they're going to switch things to night anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're playing like blue-black zombies, you can just throw this in there as well to get good value out of it. Because it's going to be night-bound if your teammate's playing werewolves.
That's it. And not to mention as well that it doesn't say werewolf anywhere on the card except the subtype. It's just a type werewolf, so it can go in any deck as long as you're day-nighting. And it day-nights itself as well. Once you've triggered the day-night cycle, you don't need anything else with day-bound or night-bound really, because you've got the day-night cycle going in the game right now. What do we have here?
Burn down the house.
Burn down the house.
Choose one. Burn down the house deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Or create 3 1/1 red devil creature tokens with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. They gain haste until end of turn.
It's not in the system, unfortunately, but most of the commander cards aren't in stock. I think people have already pillaged them. Wowza. We'll have to have a quick look at that one.
That's a list card, and that is just a random foilo. Check the Innistrad in stock. We're only we're only on to our second box, so
Correct.
I fully expect us to
So the
to
vision
not really have a solid number of cards in here until maybe this time next week.
That's true. Apparently, the visions of dominance, dread, and the curse of perception are all still in the system. They haven't been bought just yet. They all seem to be still here, and they're from the Commander series. But again, it's like we don't have a huge amount of cards because, like Dylan said, we are only one box in. So do keep that in
Mask
mind.
of Grizzlebrand.
Mask of Grizzlebrand.
Equipped creature has flying and lifelink. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its power if you do draw X cards.
Yeah, it's not in the system yet, unfortunately.
Equipped 3, turn into Grizzlebrand.
Does it have the flip?
No,
Oh,
it's not.
no, that's not the flip one. Okay, sorry.
That's not Ormondale.
Yeah, Ormandel, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, because I was gonna say there. I would like to see. I would like to see characters like Withengar and Grizzlebrand see some kind of like resurgence. They're really cool.
I gotta give them props for like not making it too like,
Bastard.
well, not too focused on werewolves for the transform in this set. It's like we're doing transform, but we're putting it in more than just werewolves. So that is a foil swamp 2/7/3.
Yep, beautiful. We have 2 of those foil swamps now.
Oh, it's so good.
Super nice. See, most of the commander cards aren't in stock, mostly because yeah, they just weren't in stock to begin with. That's the reason.
Oh, we got a Slowgurk.
If only Meld came back. I think Meld's really, really cool, but I don't know how.
It's definitely an Eldrazi one.
Yeah, definitely Eldrazi one. Jaren would be a cool commander to build around. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Slowgurk the Overslime. This is the night. Was it the Sketch Eternal Night?
Yep.
Legendary creature Ooze. Trample. Whenever a land card is put into the graveyard from anywhere, put a 1/1 counter on him. Remove 3 1/1 counters on it to return it to its owner's hand. And when he leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand.
It's pretty cool.
A pretty tame slime.
It's very
Based on previous slimes.
Well, most oozes tend to be ooze tribal, right?
Yeah.
This is a Simic version of the Gitrog monster, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like kind of like a way to get a bunch of like you self-mill, put a bunch of lands in your graveyard, make them really big, attack, and then if your opponent tries to interact with it and tries to remove it, you're like, okay, I'll remove the 3 counters, I'll put it back in my hand, and because it left the battlefield, I'll get those lands back. I can then recast it for 3, like go in for combat, and then just discard them at instant speed and build my guy up. I think this command is really, really cool. It's not in the system, but it is really cool.
It's not in the system?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, Slowgurk.
I know, I'm sorry guys. There are some cards that are making it in the system today just because
We are jumping in early.
We're cracking in early, we're getting these packs out, we're getting these cards.
Oh, look, speaking of
There he
which,
is.
there's
There he
another
is, look at
Slowgurk. And you want another one?
that. Here we go. It's
There's a
another...
Ludovic foil
It's
as
a
well.
foil, and they're all not in the system.
Ah, you're killing me.
Yeah. But look, guys, you are the first to look at these. I know Theoretical Wins. Wowza. What a great pack, by the way. Double Slowgurk and the foil Ludovic. Yeah, Uzi. Boys, get out your Uzis.
I'd actually love to see Meld come back when we do another Eldrazi set.
Yes. I think it doesn't work super well. Oh.
Ooh, a Sagada stamped. Okay, there you go. You can have that. There you
Oh,
go.
it's my Sagada stamp. I love the stamp cards, guys. I love. All right, boys, pull out your guns. All right, so I love the stamp cards because I love. First, big thing I love is representing and reflecting the work artists do. People forget how much work art can be and how much time and how much effort goes into making beautiful, beautiful artwork.
Unnatural growth.
Ooh, Unnatural Growth comes out.
At the beginning of each combat, double the number and toughness of each, double the power and toughness of each creature you control till end of turn.
Very cool.
That's wow.
That is a instant sleeved card, by the way.
Yeah.
That's quite an expensive card for a rare.
I'm not surprised.
For a rare, that is an incredibly expensive card. But yes,
Devotion
very, very
turn
good.
on.
Yeah.
And then we've got an Outland Liberator and foil showcase. It's the werewolf that you sack it to destroy a target artifact.
It's cool. It's also a foil. It's very
Or
nice
when it
looking.
attacks.
God, that's so pretty.
very
So,
pretty.
can you grab
I'm gonna
that
give that
pack
gas.
for me, Dylan? The pack you just opened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, can you have a look at the uncommon black 2-mana instant?
Okay.
Just because Kian Edwards wants to say, may I just say? So this card, it's somewhere in there. It's a black 2-mana instant. It's that one there.
Infinite
Oh, we
Grasp.
were talking about this. So this is an uncommon, but it's a strictly better version of Doomblade.
Yeah.
It's just destroy target creature, lose 2 life. That is an incredibly powerful removal.
Doomblade was destroy target non-black, right?
Such a good, yeah, it's non-black Doomblade. So not worthless, probably, Deckham says. That's absolutely right. We always go through all of our uncommons and commons straight after and make sure we fill in the cards that are going to have value. The problem is, like, obviously we're not going to put all of them into the system. Just
We
because
also got to think about too, like, the card prices right now are
Exactly.
quite inflated.
Exactly. That's a really important point. Might see modern play in Death's Shadow. I can definitely see it. You say might? I say almost definitely. It's very, very useful. I really like that card. So almost definitely. So very, very relevant. Thanks for mentioning that one as well, Kian. It was 1999. I think that card's
Arlen.
really useful.
Arlen art
Ooh,
card, very nice.
Arlen art card. Very nice. The island. We're just throwing those behind the desk, by the way, guys. Every land we pull just gets thrown into the wall. We don't give a care. We don't give a world.
This is a fun card.
So let's go.
Sacrifice two and a black. Sacrifice another creature. Draw a card, then transform it.
And it's only a 1-mana 1/1. It's pretty easy to get really early. Good pauper card.
It's a 4/4 demon.
That's not bad.
Just like a fun card. Pippin had that yesterday. Kind of ruined me with one of them. It's really good.
Kind of really. Yeah, super good in common, Keen Edwards says. Yeah, very, very good. Ooh, we have an adversary.
Another adversary.
It's a bloodthirsty one this time.
It's the red one.
Let's hear what
Haste.
bloodthirsty adversary does. It is worth quite a bit.
It is a 2/2 haste with, when it enters the battlefield, like its multi-kicker, its ETB multi-kicker is 2 and a red, any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on it, then exile up to that many target instant or sorcery cards with a mana value 3 or less from your graveyard and copy them. You may cast any number of the copies without paying the
Sorry.
cost.
I'm going to just quickly bring up my, I think it's here, the focus. Can you get that close to the screen? It's that way the chat can see that. So I'm going to read that again just a little bit slowly. Sorry, that's actually pretty good. So it's when bloodthirsty adversary enters the battlefield, pay 2 and a red any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many 1/1 counters on it. That's normal. Then exile up to that many target instant and or sorcery cards with mana value 3 or less from graveyard and copy them. You may cast any number without paying the mana cost. So we mentioned before the whole casting those spells is really cool. We're talking about if you're playing something like Prosper, this card is insane. Goblin Dark Dweller flashbacks, yeah, really, really, really
I wonder
good.
if this has a lot of like funky interactions in a feather deck
I reckon it would.
as like an interesting piece.
No, it's interesting, but I will say because it exiles the cards and then puts a copy of them on the stack, you will not get
you
those
won't get the
cards
rebound.
back.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
but still good. It's still really good. Also, it's 2 mana 2/2 haste. Can we talk about that for a second? Really good. Bottom line is, card is good. Play good card. In fact, all the adversaries are good, can I say? I mean, yeah, Mythic Slot, but still really, really good. Look how easy these packs are to open, by the way. Dylan's just pushing it with his thumb and the whole pack rips open like that. It's really cool. What a cool card.
No one understands you, she-bear. Stop calling me that.
Stop calling me that.
Oh, Thermo Alchemist is back.
Yeah, got a reprint.
Oh, Pauper.
Pauper.
Rejoice.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Visions of Ruin.
It's cool that that's a
The Red Visions.
Oh, the Red Vision showed up. Nice.
Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. For each artifact sacrificed this way, you create a treasure.
I just want to mention that is the first time Thermo Alchemist is printed in uncommon. My favorite Vision, Keen Edward says. Yeah, it's very, very good. This one's called Visions of Ruin. But yeah, it's really interesting that that has been scaled up in rarity. It's now definitely worth an uncommon. So. But the Visions of Ruin is $1.50 more extended than it is normal. But the Visions of Dominance is like $14 more expensive, non-extended. Like, what's the logic there?
And then we've got another Hallowed Respite, which is not in the system yet.
Oh, of course. Oh no, we left out all those Hallowed Respites, day one. Pretty rough, honestly.
He watching you, boy.
Werewolves are super base, can't go wrong.
Ugh, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's a gross looking card. It's really well made. Like, the art's are phenomenal. Really gets the effect across. Some awesome stuff.
Sludge Monster.
Sludge Monster! Sludge Monster! Sludge Monster!
Sludge Monster.
Sludge Monster!
Whenever
Oh my
he
God.
enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter on up to one other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2.
That's really good. It's really good. Horror Tribal with Sludge Monster. I wish it was legendary and you really could go into that, but I like it already. You say it's creepy art. I say it's great. I did not say it's not great, but it is creepy. And it is
creepy AF.
gross. Like, it is a gross looking card. Like, the card, like, it really makes you, like, uneasy. Oh, the creeping in. Oh, is that another one? Oh,
It is a Foil Island.
Foil Island.
Am,
So
I,
cool.
am I putting this one
You
on the
are.
side? Yeah.
You are. You're putting them all aside. A reminder, when he leaves, the slime counters don't do anything. That is correct. So that's the thing about, like, what I was saying before, where he's like a As a commander, he'd be really, really, really cool.
Another Patrician Geist.
But unfortunately, because like he does say, if he leaves, slime counters do nothing, anything else. Patrician Geist is not in the system, correct?
No, it is.
It
I
is?
added it last time, I believe.
Is it just because there's no H after G in Geist? Correct.
Correct.
Yep. I don't know why I added the H there.
There, look at that. There's Jared.
Oh, there he is. Look at him. Oh, what a cool
I like
art.
the shadow of
Almond
Almondal.
Doll. I love it a lot. I think it's awesome.
You insect.
It does. Oh, Theoretical Winds makes a really good point. It does mean that the creatures, by definition, are slimy, which is an important piece of information. He's right. What an awesome.
Oh, isn't there? What's the? Is it Kolrath Knight? Is it creatures with counters on them can't attack or block, or is it creatures with minus one,
I
minus
think
one
it's any
counters?
knight. I think it's any counter. Yeah. So there you go. If you're in Grixis and you have a Grixis counter deck, like Grixis. Oh, what's her name? Marchesa the Black Rose, where
Yeah.
she puts 1/1. She's all about 1/1 counters on things, and then
Yep.
you kill them and such. So you could play that sludge. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, wait a minute. If I go Marchesa the Black, she I think is 1/1 counters though. Yeah. Okay. So she only works with 1/1 counters. She won't work with that counter, but it is going to work with Kolrath Knight, which is there's a white creature in Strixhaven Commander. That's cool. Ooh, Arvison's Memorial.
Arvison's Memorial.
This is another one of those unique cards you cannot get outside of these packs.
Outside of the set or the collector boosters, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the Vadrik Astral Archmage. One thing, by the way, all of these Eternal Night cards have spot printing.
Oh, it's so nice. Look at that. Get a good look at that.
so good.
So, Evolves the Memorial, 8 mana artifact, so you're probably, in fact, Oh, look at this booster! Anyway, you're definitely ultimately going to cheat this out. You're never going to pay its cost. It's indestructible. I wish it said other historic permanents. I wish it said historic. Please
kidding
bring
me?
back historic.
Why would it say historic? This isn't Dominaria United is in
Oh,
like
shut up.
6 months.
That's what I'm saying. It should say historic because Dominaria United's in 6 months. It should be. It'll
But
be
it's
in
a commander
standard.
card.
It'll be in standard.
And then we've got
it won't be
Arlen.
standard. That's true. It won't be a standard. But
Casual Arlen.
Casual Arlen. So we haven't mentioned much about her. What does she do, Dylan?
So, on the Daybound side, she's until your next turn, you may cast creature spells as though they had flash, and each
bad.
creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it.
Actually, I'm going to go out there on a whim and say that's insanely good.
That's
Yiva,
amazing
but
for a
it's
+1.
Well, it's Yiva, but it does all creatures. Like,
Yeah.
please.
And then it's neg3 create 2/2 green wolf creature tokens.
Okay, that's busted. I love that. I don't care about the other side anymore. I'm going to hear it, but I don't care. I love this card.
When she flips, +2, add red green.
Oh!
0 until end of turn. Arlen the Moon's Fury becomes a 5/5 werewolf creature with trample, indestructible, and haste. Bro, she's the new Gideon.
Yeah, that's very much a powerful standard piece. That's a very powerful standard piece. If you see that in the limited environment, you're going to be in a good way.
Rip Gideon.
Rip Gideon. I mean, again, guys.
Red green
Can
does
I
what
get-
white does.
Can I get an F in the chat? Can I get an F in the chat, please, guys, for Gideon? Never forget, guys. Never forget. All right, so that's Arlen Court. She's a cool character. Cool character. Thanks, Ken Edwards. F in the chat for Gideon. Theoretical Wins. You know what?
No.
You know what, Theoretical Wins? I'm gonna forgive you today because you supported us and you subbed here. So I'm gonna forgive you
next
for that
time.
transgression. But next time you disagree with me in any context, you know he doesn't deserve an F. Spooky says.
Look, there's
Wow.
the Veil card.
Okay, guys. You know what, chat? I want to hear it. Tell me why he doesn't deserve an F. Nasty pieces of work. Gideon was a cool.
We've got another Adeline.
Should have been Lillian. Should have been Liliana. You know what? That might be true.
Adeline is not in the system, so we can't add her.
But she is based, so there's that.
Adeline is Bay.
Should have Adeline is back. Should have been Liliana. I don't know. Professor Onyx made for a very cool card, and I don't think Gideon would have made a very good Strixhaven teacher.
Oh, meow.
Oh, that's a cool looking card. Let's reprint that vampire there, the interloper. Cool reprint. Play with fire.
This, so much work.
What does it do?
Unnatural Moonrise. Red-green sorcery. It becomes Knight. Until end of turn, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Oh, I didn't even see this uncommon. That is so cool.
Had so much fun with that yesterday. And then I put it on my first striking vampire. Like my 1/1 vampire when it attacks gains first strike.
Yeah.
So it gains first strike when it's attacking on my turn. So Unnatural Moonrise giving that +1/+0. So now my opponent had to choose, do I block the 2/1 first striker that he can pump, or do I block the werewolves that are now going to decimate me?
I like that. Here's my thing, right? Can we go back up just a second? Here's my thing. Kian Edwards in the chat says, that face when it doesn't work with old werewolves. I agree. It obviously, the bit becomes night doesn't transform werewolves, but I love this card is +1/+0, trample, and it cantrips if they hit, and it is sorcery speed, you know, it is an uncommon, you gotta be careful of that, but...
And it's got flashback.
But it's got flashback. It will still give a normal werewolf trample, draw a card, and +1/+0. So I like the idea of just giving a freaking werewolf trample at the end of the day. It's still really useful.
The really big key to this card, right, is the fact that it becomes night. So if your opponent needs to pull you off into day again, and you have flashback, this is now costing them 4 spells.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
To keep you out of your winning position.
Deckham says, apparently Maro is open to errata-ing the old werewolves. Well, Maro is also open to return to Throne of Eldraine, so, All right, so
and we've got another Catilda, which is not in the system.
Yeah, she's not in the system. Great. Awesome. Cool. 2 packs in a row where nothing's in the system. Great.
Good job, Kanye.
Good job, Kanye. Thank you, Kanye. Very cool.
Ooh,
Oh, I love the
Cathar.
Cathars. They're really cool. Cathars are a great design. Can I say that? Maro likes energy. Trent, are you Maro?
Ooh, Field of Ruin. Have you been pulling out these Field of Ruins?
No, but I'm going to go through them all before we end.
All right, well, let's put... Because Field of Ruins...
Let's have a look at the value on that card
staple.
first. Because Field of Ruin is really useful. But it depends on the value of the card. The value of the card that, by the way, isn't in the system as an Innistrad version. So
I'm going to put it over the side here. Because
yeah.
I think it's one of those cards that even if it's only 50 cents,
well,
it's something that everyone who plays Commander ends up needing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And then we've got a Bloodline Culling.
Bloodline Culling. Very nice.
1 in a green, 1 in a black, instant, choose one. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn, or creature tokens get -2/-2 until end of turn. So basically, it kills all the zombies your opponent's made.
It's not in the system, but it is very, very flexible. And that's what's really important about that card. It's very flexible. Trent, are you Maro? I am not Maro because I do not like Throne of Eldraine. I am not Maro because I wouldn't make a card named after myself. And also, I love energy. I don't like energy, Kian. Energy is my favorite mechanic in Magic the Gathering.
Look,
I'll say it.
Kaya's here.
Kaya's here. I love Kaya.
Is the focus sort of? Is the focus correct?
The focus looks fine here. I'll double check to make sure I don't have the eye like you do. So give me one quick second. It's still the wrong thing. There it is. So
Oh yeah, it looks about right.
That's better. There we go. That's about better. That's a little bit better for you. My apologies, guys. If anyone in the chat was having a bit of squint, my apologies, guys. All fixed up now.
I like that they reprinted Dissipate. That's a fun, cheeky commander. Fun, cheeky counter.
It's a pretty counter. Morgan's saying, energy doesn't matter. That's a good point. It does not matter. It doesn't really matter at all. Curse of Obsession, amazing. It doesn't... Wait, no, it isn't matter. My bad. Okay, I see. Yeah, energy isn't matter. You're absolutely right. Energy is not matter. It's created by it, but it's not it. Theoretical Wind says, I understand it's bad for constructed, but it has been my favorite set for limited in recent memory. If you talk about Eldraine, I don't even disagree with that. I'm just saying that Eldraine is a little bit derivative. Whenever Kaya is not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, where's Kaya? What really matters? Nothing really matters at all. What are we looking at? Oh, the reprint. That is a big reprint. Delver of Secrets. They're an awesome Huskar. So I didn't think it was in the system. Give me a second. So I mentioned it before. Yeah. Oh, okay, it is. Yeah, the foil that's the most expensive. They're like $1 each. But yeah, the no Nils Ham art. Yeah, I know, not the classic. So are you putting in that system? Perfect. We'll go through and get the rest in there too.
Sungold Sentinel. Actually, you know what? Don't worry about it. Take it out.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I think that card's going to drop in value immensely in about 24 hours.
Well, it's one of these cards that's like Delver of Secrets being a massive reprint. It will be big in standard, but I think the value of the foil is what people want. All right, so Sun Gold Sentinel. I did see the original go up in a lot of value though, so I won't lie. Sun Gold Sentinel. So pretty cool card, pretty cool card. Ironically, not worth much more than the Insectile Aberration than the Delver of Secrets. Where's Kaya? Like basically that is what the plot kind of feels like it. Delver is fun, maybe not good enough in limited, sadly. I don't necessarily agree. I think it is quite
I like
good
the Evolving Wilds reprint too.
Yeah, always good. Evolving Wilds, and it's a phenomenal artwork for it too. I like that. Okay, I like that he's going through someone, and they're like.
But he has chains, hooks, and a len.
I like. No, hang on. He's going through this guy, and the guy's like, ugh. But from that angle, it looks more like Intruder, go! And he's like throwing the Pokeball, and he's like,
Yeah, the Nebelgast intruders come out.
Nebelgast. Turn 1 Delver is pretty good.
Village Watch.
Village Watch.
Yeah.
Get that close to the screen. Let's see that one. Village Reavers. Oh, look
Wolves
at that.
and werewolves you control have haste.
5/4. It's not bad by any metric. The art is really
This
good.
is the regular art.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. That look really cool. I love that.
Oh, there's another Village Watch.
I like that. Another
Rem
new-
Carolus, Stalwart Slayer.
This is the person who I think is on the artwork of the feather card I like so much.
He is a flying haste, like Boris flying knight, really. If a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. If a spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1.
Therigo is saying, no, they're candlelit cavalry, Dylan. They're the candlelit cavalry. That's what Keena's letting you know.
They are.
Theoretical Winds is also saying there's no real top of deck manipulation in the context of Delver, but I will say
Is Rem in the system, by the way?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Sorry, Karolus.
Yes.
Yep, no, he's not, unfortunately. Now we're saying there's no real top of deck manipulation. That's true, but there's nothing to consider. You could play Consider, and also, I will also add.
You got me.
That you could just flip a spell really early. Sure, you're not going to manipulate it, but you could flip a spell. I'll put that planes.
Foil Plains.
What number?
269.
269. Nice. We're children here. Can I get an F in the chat for the professionalism of Vault Games by both saying nice? Alrighty, so bringing that straight back up for Dylan. Beautiful.
Oh, Devious Cover-Up.
Devious.
It's a scarecrow, not a dead
Oh,
body.
thanks, Theoretical Winds and Spooky. You'll F for Dylan, but you won't F for Gideon. I see how it is. This was just a bait to see if what the F was. What's your win con? A 3/2 flyer. I have a 3. My win con is I attack you every turn with a 3/2 flyer. Devious Cover-Up. Got him. Devious Cover-Up. That's not a bad win con. Is the answer. Yeah, it's a good win con. It's fine.
We got him. Jadar, good caller
No,
of
this is not the guy you
Nefada.
were thinking of, but still good. Still good.
At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature with Decayed.
I like it. I think that he's going to be really good in the deck Wilthelm.
Yep.
But I don't know how he goes as a card by himself. We'll see.
I think he's pretty strong. He's a pretty solid late game limited card.
Oh, yeah, he's really. I think he's a good freaking start, middle, late.
I think that's an auto grab.
He's an auto grab, and he's just so good if you're looking at a mid range kind of deck. Sunrise Cavalier.
And then we've got a.
What's that card even do? What have you got there?
I got a Serene Sunset. Prevent all combat damage X target creatures would deal this turn.
Is it X and a green?
Yeah.
I guess that's
Don't go changing list.
That's interesting.
Don't go changing.
Don't go changing. That's
We'll put all the list cards in later, everyone.
Oh yes. Oh no, I wasn't gonna. If you thought I was, no way, no. I've got the pile of them.
There we go.
Old stick fingers.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that guy.
What a ghoulish looking scarecrow.
I'm sure you'll get that Snapcaster. Yeah, that's it. Gideon is boring. Theoretical Winds. If you don't know much about Gideon's past, while it is true that his only interesting era was in Theros, that is a very, very interesting story.
Here we go. A creature that returns as an enchantment. When Vengeful Strangler dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control, attached to a target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls.
Oh, Planeswalker, eh?
Strangling Grasp, Enchanted Aura. At the beginning of upkeep, Enchanted Permanent's controller sacrifices a non-land permanent and loses 1 life.
Oh, I don't know why you would enchant a Planeswalker with that necessarily, unless they don't have a creature, but that could be it. But we'll see. That's a really good card, though.
Well, I mean, if they've got a really boss Planeswalker, this is probably a really good card for
But if they have a boss Planeswalker, you're going to have to kill it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kill it. Because they're going to lose... so they have to sacrifice a permanent, right?
Yeah, they have to sacrifice non-land permanent.
Sorry, it is a non-land permanent. That's relevant.
And lose a life.
So you could put on a creature, and then just pass. They have to sacrifice it. It's the only thing they have, which is pretty good.
So we've got a Deserted Beach here.
Yes, Theoretical Wins. See my above comment from last time. Gideon is only interesting in Theros. Yes, but he's very interesting in Theros. This guy. Deserted Beach. He's very interesting. I like him. He has a very sad backstory where all his friends died because he didn't respect that they aren't invincible like he is. All right, Near Mint goes up by 1. Beautiful. What an awesome card.
And
Waltz Lands,
ready?
Here we go. Oh, the foil! Old stick fingers.
foil?
Amazing
No, not
card.
foil.
He's not in foil? Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Holy shit, that's hard
Yeah,
to
that's
tell.
what I'm trying to. I know it's so hard to tell.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
It was just this very soft, subtle rainbow I saw. So he's definitely foil.
He's
He is also not in the system.
Oh.
I know.
Foil Eternal Night Showcase.
Spooky the Ghost Catcher. Can I get a close up to the screen? And I can actually just kind of
Of the art.
I never know which is the correct one. I'm a fool. Okay, let me just. I'm losing everything. All right.
It's the bottom one.
It's always the bottom one. I clicked the wrong one again. Anyway, so we're going to bring up.
Can't get good help around here.
I know. It's almost like this isn't like. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's so cool. I wish it had a bit of a better size of scale. Like you get an idea of how big he is in general, but it's still really cool. Very cool. I just want more horror. Theoretical Wind says. You know what? I can appreciate that.
Just more goth, please.
I can appreciate that the same way I appreciate Gideon.
Less hero, more goth, please. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. That's why.
If I wanted hero, I'd play God of War.
It's a good point, actually. Boy. It's a good point.
Boy.
I love Tilk from Star Trek. Dylan understands. Thank you, Theoretical Wins. You know what?
Tovalar's Huntmaster.
Oh, this is an amazing card. Tell us what it does.
It is a 2/2. It creates a 2/2 green wolf. It creates two 2/2 green wolf creatures. So it's 6 mana for essentially 10 mana, 10 worth of creatures.
Not in the system, but amazing.
And then it's day bound. And at night bound, when it enters, it still creates two 2/2 greens. And
Or attacks.
And for 2 and 2 green, another target wolf or werewolf you control fights target creature you don't control.
Kian just took the words straight out of my mouth. Huge bomb in Limited.
This
Limited,
guy, 100%.
bomb.
Absolutely.
One of the better bombs in the whole game. I would say, yeah, one of the best bombs in the whole set.
Like if you're surviving into there, you'll have problems against faster decks, no doubt. But if you have him on your 6th turn and you're still well enough in the game, he's gonna just change it for you completely.
Here's the thing about the werewolf builds, I think, in Limited that really interests me is that like you've got this almost perfect curve of werewolves all the way from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're very easily able to just be like, all right, werewolf this turn, next turn werewolf, next turn werewolf, next turn werewolf. If your opponent is interacting with you with every card you play, it's a losing game no matter what deck you're playing. So if you're just resolving these big like nasty threats, then you know like you end on that guy right at the very end, the Tovalar's man, and it's just. How is your opponent meant to keep up with that? Storm the Festival is not in the system, unfortunately. What does it do?
Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put up to 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order.
And it's got flashback.
And it's got flashback for 10.
He doesn't even need to be in a werewolf deck. Absolutely right, Kino. I mean, I was just saying in the context of, you know, if you're in werewolves, he's amazing. But yeah, you could just drop him on turn 6. But that's where Dylan's context of like, you may not survive until he comes out. You know what I mean?
It's really good in even a white-green Coven deck.
Exactly.
Because it adds 2 to the 3. It adds 2 possibilities to the 3 you need for Coven. Because it adds your 6 and 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plus he's pretty overstated, so it's not like you're gonna always have like he's a 6/6 or a 7/7, so it's not like you're gonna have another creature that isn't like a 3 power or 1 power or something. So the front side is still amazing.
Another
absolutely.
Wake to Slaughter.
Is that in the system?
I think it's not.
I'll double check anyway. I don't think it is, but we'll check. No, it's not.
Back in there you go.
Get this guy out of here.
That was only 1 decent card on that.
That sucks, man.
Cheddar, Ghoulcaller.
He's cool.
Oh man, we've gotten so many good swamps and mountains in this that my Scarab God deck's gonna look tight.
Tweet.
Sorry, Scorpion God.
Yeah, Scorpion. You always on the Scarab God, don't you?
Yeah, I keep messing up.
It's all good, don't worry.
I'm not that degenerate. A Reckless Stormseeker.
This guy's out here with his Turgid deck. Oh, that's not in the system. And he's like, I'm not degenerate, I just only play Turgid.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0
and
gains haste.
Is that a 3 mana card or a 2 mana card?
3 mana.
Oh, that's still good.
And then you flip it over, and it's a Storm Charge Slasher.
He crashed. Can you flick back to the first one? So it's at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature. It's a 3/3 haste.
Yeah.
In a vacuum. That's really good.
And look, he's got a little...
Reckless Storm Seeker's a lot of standard play.
He
absolutely.
crashed.
No, but now he's Storm Charged.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample haste.
That's why Kino says Reckless Storm Seeker is going to see a lot of standard play. It's absolutely phenomenal card. It's definitely a standard play. Also, it's a huge limited card. Like, it's a great card. Limited.
I really look. It's been a while, and I'd love to see Red Deck Wins come back again.
Yeah.
And...
Right until you verse it for the 5th time in a tournament, and then you go, hang on a second.
But I mean, like, there's still ways to beat Red Deck Wins. It's not.
Unless it's Red Deck Wins, because that's the premise is that it's meant to be.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
But it becomes like.
Look, don't get me wrong, the red deck wins playstyle is very cool. I love seeing it, but like I said, if you verse it enough times, it becomes a problem. In the same event, right? If it becomes like the deck to play because, I don't know, red deck wins, you're still going to be...
We got another Brybridge tracker.
Oh, that's definitely not on the system. Oh, no, it was
is.
the first one it was.
is.
Yep, it was the first one that was.
Oh,
My
we've got a
apologies.
night and day from the list. Bye.
Bye. Sand Night. Oh, yeah, the card Night Day, I see. I was like, what?
Brybridge tracker.
Brybridge Tracker, also a great card. Absolutely, Keen Edwards. That was like our first card we pulled. Brybridge Tracker is awesome. So it comes out, comes in, it's a 4/3 because you're going to always control that one token you get from it until you sack it and remove it. And oh, that's so cool.
A woo.
A woo indeed. A woo. Look at me.
Borrowed time this is fixed O-ring.
Fixed O-ring. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
It's O-ring, but it's delayed triggers rather than...
Yeah.
Ooh, full art Deserted Beach.
Ooh. Oh, what's this?
Oh, whoa.
Deserted Beach comes back out. We got a lot of deserted beaches. So if you're looking at building standard or even modern spirits, Deserted Beach could really show up. I don't know if it's a big modern card. Is it a borderless non-foil?
Yeah, Borderless
Beautiful.
non-foil.
I don't know if it's going to be big in modern, but if you're playing spirits, especially in standard, big card. Speaking of spirits, let's see what this guy does. Amoeboid Changeling. That's a werewolf. It's literally just banishing light. Yeah, it is.
Malevolent Hermit.
Very good card. 2 mana, 2/1.
You can sack him to counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 3.
Yep.
And then disturb. It's a Benevolent Geist.
I love this card.
Non-creature spells you control can't be countered.
Huge. Now, the big thing I love about this card is it interacts, like it stops your opponent and puts itself in the graveyard to then disturb it. So, yeah, plus obviously he's a malevolent hermit.
He wants to die. He's like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore.
I'm sick of this. benevolent guy.
Welcome to the afterlife.
Yeah, I love this. What's that line there?
All his old grudges suddenly seemed laughably petty, so he laughed.
That's it, right? It's like, sad old man becomes happy. He's like, you know what? What's
I
the
can
point
fly
of
now, you fucking losers.
Malevolent Hermit is not in the system.
Of course it isn't.
No, of course it's not. Why would it be? Sad old man becomes happy. The musical, the sequel, people. Dylan had a birthday recently, right? He absolutely did. Everyone in the chat, happy birthday for Dylan. TD, thanks Dylan for having a birthday. Big man. Love it.
Please stop.
Awesome. Please stop. No, Trent, I was never born.
Good God.
I was the result of a lab experiment.
We got a
Decker
light up the
routine
night.
hydrate.
What is Chandra doing here?
What?
Is
What?
Chandra here?
Chandra's here?
Chandra? But no Nisa?
I don't know why you think Chandra and Nisa are related, because, Chandra's partners have always been, decidedly male. I don't know what you're talking about there.
Ridiculous.
Don't understand what you're trying to say there. I'm pretty sure that's the most cis woman.
It also says story spotlight on it. But
Rip
what
Benny
story?
Harvey. Rip Benny Harvey. Miss you, big man. We miss you too, buddy.
Well-
Chandra only likes boring muscle slabs like Gideon. I do actually recognize that Chandra was interested in Ajani at a point, which, if you think about it, gone but not forgotten.
Would you say that she... No.
She doesn't howl when she transforms. She yes.
All right, so we've got two.
Two
You know what
last
that means?
boosters. That's the classic. I'm diddling it.
Now, which one do you want?
I don't know where the camera is. I'm diddling it. I want
You want
this
that
one.
one? All right.
Yep, I got this one.
All right, here we go. It's the value.
Oh, I'm cracking the back. Oh, I'm doing it like an idiot though. There we go. All right.
Art cards don't count. I got a spectral adversary.
Oh, well, I got a foil land, so. Wait, it's not a signed one, is it?
No, mine wasn't signed. Okay, we're gonna look at this off camera.
All right. I'd smash a Johnny. Spooky says. Well, I would let a Johnny smash me.
Can we just have a moment, by the way?
Oh.
Look what's added to the list.
That's on the list? Oh, guys, you can't put that on the list. Are you kidding?
I still have this.
Of course you do it. Like, it was 5 minutes ago. Okay, mask off moment. Oh, cringe. Ew. Yeah, guys. Hey, Dylan. Let's see it. Get that shit out of here, Magic. Fuck that. And F you in extension. That's what we think of that card. Get that.
Well, that's a pretty aggressive. But that was a terrible idea, Wizards.
What do you mean? That's as aggressive as it needs to be, man.
Okay.
All right, so.
So I only have one card of value.
I have one card. Don't know if it's of value. So, I will show you mine first, and then Dylan will show you his because he'll probably beat me. That shit ain't right. Damn right, Spooky, you get the Ghost Catcher. That ain't right. So, a list card. It was Biomass Mutation, which I probably won't be there, but I'll find out.
That's really fun.
It's Can't Stay Away. We got the artwork for this before. Let's see what it does here, and I'll bring up the price. What you two show each other is none of our business. Yeah, exactly. So, we have Can't... Oh, what happens if they're not in the system? We won't even know. I hope yours is in the system, because that counts. All right, so it is a $3.50 card, and the reason is because it says here, it's 2 mana, white-black sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains, if this creature would die, exile it instead. Now...
So it basically becomes a disturbed spirit.
I would say that, and I love that cast they were with like the spirit cat. Death is no impediment to dinner. Wow, what a good card. What a good cat, sorry. Yeah, it's a cool card. I think because there's one of these examples where it's like you put a harsh condition on it, you make it a bit overcosted, and then it's a flashback card. So it's good. So it's good. Also, I think, it's if it would die, exile it instead. Is that like, if I bring up quickly thinking about...
It's the same as the disturbed stuff.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm just trying to check something. Yeah, no. So a lot of these like return back to your hand effects are on death triggers. So it's not like you're going to get away with it. At the end of the day, it comes back. If it would die, exile it instead. End of discussion. And then it's flashbacks. It's quite good. And then it was a foily forest.
Ooh.
So it came to, I think, $7. Because what number is that? Sorry, Dylan.
It is 276.
276, and it is a $3.50 card. So it comes to $7.
$7 in total.
It's only on death. You should totally make it a cat spirit. It's only on death. In the context that if you bounce it back to your hand or flicker it in Esper, you're fine. That's absolutely right. Geist Wave. Yeah, good example.
All right, well, here we go. Is this card worth $7 or more?
Sorry, 1 second. I just want to look up Geist Wave for the chat. Geist Wave. It is return target non permanent to its owner's hand if you control it, draw a card. Oh, which is in the new Innistrad set, yes. The new common Geist Wave. My apologies, yes.
All right. Is this card worth $7? Let's
find out. See it. What is it? It is Leah himself, again, Disciple of the Drowned. I'm going to go on a whim and say he's got to be worth more than 7. I will say he's worth more than
I'd say he's
7.
worth $4.
He is not in the system!
You win,
people! Yeah! 7-0, baby! Let's get it. 7-0s in the chat, baby. 7/0. 7-0 in the chat. This means theoretical wins. Which, you know what? Theoretical wins, as long as you're in the chat, both Dylan and I win. But once again, Dylan gets 7-0'd. No contest.
We really should track like who's been winning these.
we should. I think we're at 1-1, and this is the new breaker. So I won 2
so 2-1.
Yeah. I think it's 2-1 at the moment.
I think it's 2-1 to you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the 7-0 in the chat. And you know what? That starts a little bit of our wrap-up. So again, guys, Dylan's going to start looking through some of these cards, showing off some of these lands and some of the cards that we pulled. But while we wrap this up, we'll talk about what we do.
All these bad boys are in the system now.
Yeah, we have a pile of cards that are going to be in the system.
Wait, is there Catilda?
Adeline. Adeline?
Have you mixed these up?
I don't think so. Hang on. Maybe I have. Oh, maybe I have, but I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, I'll fix it up.
What have you done?
It'll take me 5 seconds. Those 2 cards are wrong. That's okay. But that's okay. We'll resolve it. I'll resolve it all. So, what a cool set, though. This is the problem. I'm not even paying attention because I'm so focused on what the cards do, not what they look like.
Badrick's not in there. Tovolar is.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. But Tovolar's friend is not.
Both Tovolars are in.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They should be. I don't think Tovolar is in that pile. Yeah,
This is all correct.
Yeah, it's all correct. That's right. It's just those extra cards.
These 3 cards were not in there.
My apologies. I must have confused those up earlier. Maybe when we swapped, right before we swapped over. All right, so wonderful set, awesome cards, great art design, great aesthetic design, great flavor. Few Planeswalkers were in their early heads. We didn't. Okay, who did we really not see any examples of? Teferi.
No Teferi. We saw no Teferi. We saw no Ren in 7.
No Red and 7. I forgot about Red and 7. 9 out of 10, baby. I've been loving Magic's art recently. Thank you, Spooky. It's absolutely right. They've been working super hard on it. And this is the thing. 9 out of 10 for the set. On the point of loving Magic's art, this is why I'm so focused on these new art cards with the signed sleeves, because it's not Wizards of the Coast that make the beautiful art, guys. It's the artists behind them. It's not Wizards of the Coast that make Leah look that way. It's Ekaterina Burmak who makes it look that way. So thank you to Ekaterina.
I do like that we got 2 Curse of Obsessions.
Yeah, the card's really good. The card's really good. So again, I can't... Here's the thing as well. A lot of these cards in the set, like, I have to try fairly hard to genuinely find fault in, like, the card's design. Like, for me, it's like, I have to work hard to be like, maybe this card isn't so good. At face value, every card is so freaking amazing. So to me, it's like, I've seen a lot of sets where it's like, I'm like, oh, this card could be good in this instance, or it could be good here. Like, this is okay. I can see where I can apply it to this. It's like, no, I'm fucking, like, lost for options here. I'm lost for options. And I'm like, every card, I'm like, I want to play this in this deck, and it works with this, and it works with that. And look at it in limited, look at it in command, and look at it in draw. Like, it's just super exciting. We're even talking about standard, and we never talk about standard. And we are talking about standard today. So, and you know what? Honestly, thank you to the chat for getting us involved with standard talk and a bit of modern talk as well. We love getting into other formats. Oh, look at that card. So pretty. So it's one of these things. We love it. So all goods?
Yeah, it's extended
Oh,
out
yeah.
foil.
It's so nice. It's so pretty. So again, thank you guys in the chat. Thank you for the subs. Again, one more time, Disney's Pixar's Cars RPG one-shot. We're going to design it. We're going to play it. We're going to burn through it. It's going to be awesome. We're at 83 subs. We only need 17 left to get there. So, and once we hit that 100 subs, guys, again, all of the money that comes into the stream goes into the stream. Everything that you send us is always going to support the stream and nothing else. We want to make this the best experience we can for both ourselves and for you and for everyone involved. So yeah, and if you want to see more kind of streams like this, let us know. You want to see more streams of different ilk, let us know. Look at those foily lands. Oh my lord.
There you go, everyone. These are all available right now at singles.vaultgames.com.au. You can jump on there and pre-order them for release next Friday. We'll be back cracking open some more. I think we're going to have some collector boosters next Thursday.
That's exciting.
That'll be fun.
That'll be awesome.
Because they may actually arrive before release, even though we were told they won't. So that'll be great. We've got pre-release on this weekend. If you haven't booked your pre-release spot yet, make sure you do. Go to your local, get your pre-release on, or you can book for one of our events. We still have a few spots left across the board. You can also purchase pre-release kits to get sent out to you. We have a deal. If you buy 5, you get 1 free. So you get 6 for the price of 5. If you want to enjoy an online pre-release at home with your buddies, you can do that. If you're in lockdown, that's going to be all sweet. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm going to be back at 6 o'clock with Cassie. We're going to play Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion on the game show. And then Josh and Lockie are going to be on Saturday night, and you might pop in every now and then, depending. They're going to do a pre-release with some of the leftover kits that we have for Flesh and Blood Tales of Aria, if you're into Flesh and Blood.
If you haven't seen like if you guys like good draft environments, this new Tales of Aria set looks like the best draft environment I have seen in any card game. I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. I have not seen a better. Thank you, Morgan, bringing some Scooby snacks. Woo! And the Red Wings good on Sunday as well, guys. So again, I'm going to see you guys all Sunday. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, this Tales of Aria for Flesh and Blood, it's one of the best draft environments I've seen of all time. It's super exciting. The artwork is amazing in Flesh and Blood, so definitely check that stream out as well. Even if you haven't played Flesh and Blood before, check it out, because trust me, guys, you'll find something you like and you love, because that game is freaking awesome.
So yeah, thanks so much, Trent, for joining us.
Yeah,
thank you everyone out there for joining us. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, get notified every time a new video goes live here by getting that bell on. If you're watching this on Twitch, give us a follow on the Twitch channel, and then that way you get notified every time we go live. If you throw us subs or bits or whatever, that all goes back into the stream.
Everything goes back into the stream.
But yeah, I think that's it. Stay safe, everyone.
Yes.
Wash your goddamn hands.
And happy birthday belated to Dylan.
Oh my god, it was like 2 weeks ago. Calm down.
Yeah.
Hey!
Wow.
Morgan, 100 bits.
She had 100 bits. Thank you so much, Making Morgan. Really appreciate that one. Whoop, whoop. Really appreciate that.
And we will catch you on the flip side. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much once again. Goodbye. I lost the...
It's a second. It's down.
Where is down?
Up one.
Oh
there
my
you go.
god. Bye, guys.